Hello guys, welcome back. We are here today because we have a big trade to announce between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Seattle Kraken. Mark Giordano is going to Toronto in a huge deal, and we're going to be covering that all in today's live stream. So stick in this one if you're just coming in before or after the live stream. We're going to be talking about all the trade details, everything you guys need to know, because this is one of the hugest deals going down. Mark Giordano is one of the best defensemen available as well, and from Ryan Leslie of Sportsnet and Hockey Night, I believe Giordano has been traded to the Leafs. Let me know in the chat down below what you guys think of this deal. Is this a W for the Leafs? Is this an L? Let me know. We got Leafs Nation, JS, Wes McCauley, Angie. We got Red coming in here, Eliminator, Christian, Dominic, Zachary, Asher. Now, before we get into whatever your guys' questions are, right now, as I know it, we do not know the trade package yet. So we'll have a while to talk about this deal before we get into the actual details, because again, we don't know anything yet. But Mark Giordano has been traded to the Leafs. 140 people already in this chat. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. Let me know in the chat down below, what do you guys think the actual trade itself will look like here? Because it was rumored for a while that for the Leafs, they weren't going to want to trade one of their top prospects or their first round picks this year and next. So I would assume it's a trade involving a second rounder, probably a third, maybe a good prospect on top of that. Maybe not a top tier one like a Topi Nemila, but maybe it's something as good as a Nicholas Robertson, perhaps. We'll see. Trevor, thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you guys all come in as well. We have some big news to talk about if you guys are just coming in. Mark Giordano to the Leafs, and this is going to be a very interesting one to see the package on. But let me know what you guys think. Hey, 3-month membership from Hayden with the W's. Can we get some Hayden hype in the chat, y'all? Thank you so much for the 3-month membership, brother. Appreciated. Kenji, what's going on? Ava, hello. Nicholas, are you guys hyped to see this trade package? If you are, let's get some W's in the chat, because again, before the trade deadline day, we get a big one here. I was kind of expecting today to be a little bit more quiet, but it hasn't really been that way. And we see Mark Giordano traded here. Let me know all your thoughts right in the chat. Hayden, thank you so much for coming in with a 279 as well. Have to throw in the monies. Appreciate you, brother. I mean, honestly, looking at this one, I feel like for my predictions of this deal, it's probably going to be a second rounder. Actually, let's just go to Cap Friendly real quick and see what the Leafs have here, because I think it could be very, very interesting. So if you guys are just coming in, say hello, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, hit the like button on the stream if you haven't already. So looking at the Leaf situation here, let's just look on what Mark Giordano could potentially get back for Seattle. So they do have their first round pick, but I would assume the second rounder this year is going to be one of the players going back, or not the players, one of the pieces going back. I could also see a third rounder in 2023 exchange. So I'm going to say a second round pick in 2022, a third round pick in 2023. But I also think there's going to be a pretty good other piece a part of this deal. Likely Travis Sturm is a part as well, which I don't think is where most of the value is going to come. Andres, thank you so much for the membership. Appreciate it, brother. Oh my goodness, 6 months now. Appreciate it, man. Can we get some Andreas hype, please? Give some. But on top of that, I think it's going to be Dermott a second this year, 2023 or 2023 next year. So we'll have that. I also assume there will be a prospect on top of this. I could maybe see it being a Dmitry Ovchinnikov. I don't know. I feel like there has to be some good prospect involved in this deal, especially since for Toronto doesn't feel like they're going to give up a first round pick this year. But I'll let you guys know all the details as they come. Let me know what you guys think about Mark Giordano going to Toronto. Multiple draft picks involved. Let me refresh. Where are you guys seeing that? Oh, per Dreger? Okay, let me load it up. Let me load it up on my burner account. By the way, my burner account is hello sir 315. I don't even know what the numbers are. But I just have this account to look at Dreger tweets since my other account is blocked. So yeah, from Darren Dreger from a minute ago, he tweeted multiple draft picks are involved. So again, I would assume a second rounder and a third rounder are a part of this. But we got 350 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Subscribe if you guys are new. Hit that like button. We got 60 right now, so let's keep that going. We could be live for a while here, especially if we see some more trades tonight. But Mark Giordano is the big one. We'll be getting all the confirmation in this live stream, so do not go anywhere. But again, from Darren Dreger, multiple picks are involved, which is not surprising. But I don't know. It feels like from what we've seen and all the answers that Kyle Dubas has given, it really feels like they're not going to give a first-round pick, and they don't want to give a first-round pick for a rental. That's what we've been hearing so much over the past week, is that for a rental specifically, a first-round pick is off the table, or a top prospect like a Nemula, or even potentially a Matthew Nyes. So in this deal, I would expect at least least a second, probably a third, probably a good prospect back. I think that's really the crux of this potential deal. Now, let's actually go to Daily Faceoff here and look at, so when it comes to Mark Giordano, at age 38, he's going to be a very interesting player for the Leafs. We'll look into where he fits in the Leafs lineup in a bit, but he's 38 years old, has a modified no trade clause, so he apparently wanted to go to Toronto. He has a $6.7 million cap hit. Let me also make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see some more of it, or let me see if I need to do that. Yeah, let me go up here. There we go. So the bottom is his stats for this year with Seattle. 55 games played, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points. I think his offense has dropped pretty drastically over the past couple of years, but his defensive level, I still think it's been pretty solid overall. And for a 38-year-old, it's going to be really interesting to see what this package is back. Eliminator, thank you so much for the 15 months, man. Appreciate it. Who do you think, Nick, or what do you think Nick Paul fetches for Ottawa? I'd probably say like a third-round pick's pretty reasonable for a player like that. I think since many teams are probably going to have him on their bottom 6, even though he can provide value, I think he can get third round pick. Maybe a late second could be about what you get. But for Toronto, when it comes to Mark Giordano, he's a left defenseman, right? Yeah, left defenseman. So I need to refresh myself on Toronto's deep pairings real quick, y'all. Give me a second. Well, maybe actually bring the mic closer too. Ooh, interesting. So, I mean, playing on the left, would they maybe play him on the right now since they have Riley, Labushkin, Brody Hall, Sandin, Dermott? I mean, their left side on paper is pretty fantastic, so that'll be interesting. I mean, when it comes to Mark Giordano on paper, I think he could be a great fit on this Leafs team, bring some leadership. Andreas, thank you so much. Grandma funeral tomorrow. I think I can be in the stream though. Oh my goodness, Andreas, if it's no problem, dude, to be on the stream tomorrow. If you're going to be attending, man, if you do need to, and it's something you need to do, don't worry about being in the streams, brother. I hope your grandma's resting in peace, brother. Appreciate you coming in here though, and appreciate the nation as well. Can we get some love for Andreas and the hype? Appreciated. Yeah, Muzzin's going to be an interesting one once he comes back too. That's a good point. Or comes back into form, let's say. Is there really no more details on this? Okay, we might be here for a while, boys and girls. I was kind of expecting us to get a lot of details, but we haven't gotten anything yet besides Dreger telling us multiple picks are involved. And as well, boys, if you guys do see anything on Twitter, make sure to @ me there, and I'll be sure to look at that. Package a trade for Gorgiev for Paul. I would appreciate that. Grab, how are you doing? It's me, Nathan, but I changed my name. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you coming by. Guys, Brody and Giordano play. Yeah, I expect that pair to likely be what we see. By the way, prediction time, definitely first period. But if you guys are just coming in, once again, Mark Giordano has been traded to Toronto. Let me know your official prediction in the chat of what this package will be. Once again, I'm going to say a second in 2022, third in 2023, and I'm going to keep saying Dmitry Ovchynnikov alongside defenseman Travis Dermott. That's what I'm expecting. I mean, Travis Dermott is basically an automatic at this point in this trade. He was rumored a lot over the past week to basically be confirmed in a trade, whether it was for Mark Giordano or something else. He was probably going to be a guy that was left off the roster after this week. So that's pretty much a confirmation that we will see Dermott traded there. Hey, Andres, thank you for another one. Who should we get now? I don't want to see Nemeth. I mean, I think for the Rangers, yeah, Mark Giordano, they were in the race there in the final 3. I remember that. I feel like for the Rangers at this point, I mean, I would kind of like a Carson Soucy. He'd probably, well, the problem is now with the Kraken trading Giordano, Soucy might be a little bit less available. But I think like Soucy fits a lot of the check marks. I think for the Rangers, brings some great IQ, some good skating, and some good fundamentals on that bottom pair. But I would say him or Justin Braun, I think would be pretty perfect. Chili, thank you so much for the 5, man. Why is it that every trade announcement this year is followed like 30? Exactly. I love my insiders in the NHL, ladies and gentlemen, but seriously, like, we get the trade confirmation 30 minutes and then nothing after. So let me trade. So a couple people are saying look at Dreger again. I will do that now. Just to make sure. Oh, Travis Hamonic has been traded to Ottawa. Details to follow. We got multiple trades in this live stream, boys. Keep in here. Oh my goodness. Let me see if this camera will actually focus. From Darren Dreger, Travis Hamonic has been traded to Ottawa. Details to follow. So we got some multiple trades in this live stream. Stick in here, boys. We got 600 in this chat, 9 away from 100 likes. So let's keep that going. Appreciate you guys dropping in. Let me know, what do we think Hamonic's gonna fetch for this for the Canucks? Because he's an interesting one. Why? I don't. It's interesting to me why the Sens would trade for him though. Like, does that? I mean, I'm kind of confused where the Sens are coming from in that one, especially what they could give up. I mean, Travis Hamonic in 3. Okay, here I might. Okay. I'm actually going to theorize this. I think the Sens, with Hamonic's $3 million for the next 2 seasons, are acquiring him with a draft pick involved. So the Canucks can get off his cap hit and take him onto the defense and use their cap space in an advantage way. So I'd assume this trade is probably like Hamonic and maybe a second rounder for maybe a 7th or something, where the Sens bring on that cap hit. I'm hoping this is the case, where they bring on that cap hit, maximize that return, and add an NHL defenseman. I'm not sure what Hamonic is at this point, but that would be what I would expect. And for the Canucks, that would be an obvious trade to make with his $3 million for not just this year and next. So I think for the Sens, that's definitely, if they go down that route, I think that's very smart for them. Yeah, so Irvin Gaffar as well, confirming the Canucks have traded Travis Hamonic to Ottawa. We'll see what those details are. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Love the week's impression. Thank you, brother. That was one of the funniest tweets I ever made, I think. What's the trade for Gio? We don't know yet, Garrett. We don't know yet. All we know is that Giordano has been traded to the Leafs, and now Travis Hamonic has been traded to the Sens. Nobody's giving any details, though, which I'm super mad about. But once they come, trust me, you will see them in this live stream. But appreciate you guys coming in. 730 in this chat. Can we get to 1,000 in this live stream? That would be absolutely amazing. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Get some Go Leafs Go, whatever you guys want to get going, especially for the Leafs fans in here. This is a big trade for them. And I mean, when you look at the rest of the Atlantic Division and how much they've been loading up, it makes sense for the Leafs to get one of their guys. And Giordano, I think, makes their team, especially defensively and leadership-wise, a lot more strong, even if it might only be for this year. I feel like it's a smart acquisition. We'll see what the trade package is, obviously, but it feels like there's not going to be a first-round pick involved, which I think for the Leafs is wise. Let me see. Did they hold any salary on the Giordano trade? Probably some, because I think after all the moves the Leafs made today, they'd only have about $4 million in cap space, which Giordano makes 5.2. So I'd assume some retention is there. Okay, wait. Ottawa. Let me do this for you guys. Ottawa. The Senators are sending a. Well, never mind then. Never mind. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you send a draft? I thought this whole thing was about bringing on Hamonic's salary, taking a contract off the Canucks, and getting a decent pick in return, you know, maximizing your cap space and whatnot. But apparently the Senators are just not doing that and just want Hamonic, I guess, which, okay. Hey, Big Cheese, good to see you again. Steve, or what do you think Steve Y is picking up for us this deadline? Any blockbusters? The only guy I really see the Red Wings trading is maybe Grice or maybe Zdeno. I don't think they're going to have a very busy trade deadline, though. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this. I mean, if it's a 7th, I mean, I don't really care at that point. A 3rd rounder. They got it for a 3rd. Dude, Jeremy Rutherford is already taking W's. He's already taken W's. Oh no. Oh no, I thought it would be like a 4th round, like even like a 3rd or something the Sens would acquire. Like we all kind of thought that, right? We all kind of thought that. Now, yeah, also a point by Rusty. Yeah, Shabbat is on LTR, I assume. So maybe it's just a guy to bring on for this year next. And like even then, I don't really know where the value is coming from for them. This is a weird trade. I really don't like this for the Sens. I know that they wanted a defenseman to bring on with Shabbat's injury, but for a 3rd for Travis Hamonic? That's just awful. That's just an awful job by the Sens. I really don't see how that, and it's going to be a good 3rd round pick too. This is a dub for the Canucks. Are you kidding me? I mean, they get rid of $3 million that they were barely using, and now they get a 3rd round pick and a pretty good one from the Sens. This is a masterclass deal by Rutherford. Oh my goodness. Like you guys saw over the last few minutes my pendulum swing, how I went from, oh, this has got to be a deal where the Sens get Hamonic and like a 3rd round pick for a 7th, bring on that cap hit, use our cap space well, baby. And then 5 minutes later, this is what we get. This is what we get. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Alvin. Oh, wow. Okay. Good for Elliotte Friedman. Good for Elliotte Friedman. There we go. By the way, if you do want to follow me on Twitter, at Nathan Gravday, appreciate that if you haven't already. Do we still not know what the Giordano package is? Do we still not know what the Giordano package is? I'm going to be mad. I guess we don't. Why is it take? How do we get the Hamonic deal before the Giordano trade? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me know in the chat down below though. 3rd round pick for Hamonic. Let me know. 1 in the chat for the Canucks and 2 in the chat for the Sens. Who do you guys think wins this deal? I have a feeling that one team might potentially be better in this one, but we shall see. Now we got 1,000 people in this chat. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Subscribe if you are new. We're doing trade deadline content all throughout the week, and we'd appreciate you dropping by. Daily hockey content, you know the drill. It's good to have you here. By the way, if anybody wants to see a Hamonic's JFresh card, let me just pull this one up real quick. Let me just pull this one up real quick. Yeah, great defenseman, Ottawa. Let's go. $3 million for the 3rd round pick. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is a master class by Pierre Dorian. I don't care what anybody says. Master class by Pierre Dorian. I love the NHL, man. It's so funny. It's so funny. Appreciate you guys coming in though. And again, we're going to be breaking out all the trades as they go live. The Canucks aren't retaining any salary. This is too much. This is too much. The Canucks aren't retaining any salary in the Hamonic deal. No way this is real, man. No way this is real. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you. Hello. Max Domi trade? Not yet. Philpo, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate you. Big time, brother. Oh, man. So if you guys are just coming in, the Canucks are getting their own 2022 3rd round pick back from the Sens in exchange for Travis Hamonic. Man, what a trade for Vancouver. I mean, is that their first trade with Rutherford on the squad? That's a pretty good start. I gotta say, that's a pretty good start. Holy crap, though. If you guys want to get some L's for Pierre Dorian in the chat, I mean, I would not be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that. Oh my goodness. Hey, Quinn with the 10-month membership. Glad to see you, King, back on the live stream. Appreciate him, man. I mean, the Sportsnet told me that Steve was obviously going to make a trade for a video for the Giordano one, which I was willing to definitely accept. So I'm doing the live stream on my channel for these two trades, I guess. I don't even know what's going on. Warren, thank you so much for subscribing, but thank you so much once again, Quinn, for 10 months as a member. Please get some hype in the chat for him as well. I would just retire if I was Hamonic. Sends are a social experiment. You guys are on fire tonight. Oh my goodness. Do you think the Ducks can get a 1st round pick for Raquel at this rate? You might as well ask for McDavid. Are you kidding? At this rate, the Ducks might as well get everybody in the NHL for just a top 6er. I mean, my goodness. Well, I mean, ask the Flyers how their package went, but everybody besides Claude Giroux, yes, you could probably get somebody amazing. Absolutely. Do we still? Okay, I'm gonna be livid. There's probably going to be like 2 more trades happening until we get the Giordano details. And again, if you guys do see anything, at me on Twitter, and I'll be sure to get there. But again, from what we know, we pretty much have confirmed that a 2nd round pick is going to be a part of this deal, going to the Kraken, likely Travis Sturm. Those are really the 2 assets we pretty much know are going back to the Leafs. But some very interesting deals going on here. And we can see some more in Lex a little bit, so do not go anywhere, boys. We got 1,200 people in this chat. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, spending your time with me. And again, we're going to be breaking down all the trades as they come. Thoughts on the Lindholm trade? I made a video for Sportsnet on that trade and the Giroux trade, so check that one out. Though, to basically summarize it, I think it's a pretty decent trade for both teams, but I definitely think Anaheim got off pretty well with their return. Jody, thank you so much for subscribing. And also, that Lindholm extension, 6.5 for 8 years, is a heck of a risk. Anthony, thank you as well for subbing, brother. Some Kucherov love coming your way. Probably should change that gif. I know not a lot of people love Kucherov. But appreciate you guys subscribing either way. As a Canucks fan, nice to see the start of the house cleaning, betting in his awful contracts. I mean, honestly, Theodore, like for me, if I was Vancouver, even though there's a decent, you could make the playoffs this year. Like maybe you guys feel differently, but I would personally sell through the roof. I mean, Bester, Garland, Luke Shen. I mean, there's a lot of players still left on this Canucks team that would make excellent trade options on this market. I mean, we thought that the Leafs were going to go potentially for Luke Shen. They might still, but it'll be interesting because, I mean, with the market right now with Ben Chiarot specifically, it'll be interesting to see what Luke Shen gets for sure. Sherry, what's going on? People were expecting Lindholm to get around 7.5. Yeah, I saw around 6.5. So I would say consensus-wise, it was pretty close. Yeah, I remember like 2 weeks ago, everybody was saying, oh, it's going to be a buyer's market. And then absolutely out of nowhere, it was not. Bronson, what's going on? Good afternoon to you as well. Will the Red Wings make a splash? I don't think so, Jimmy. I mean, they could. I mean, Vatrano and Mampa came out of nowhere last year, but I kind of doubt it. Let's go Leafs. Simone, hey, absolute respect. I mean, for the Leafs, it was necessary, I felt, for them to make a big splash with the Panthers, the Bruins, and the Bolts all getting big additions. So, I mean, personally, that top four in the Atlantic is insane. Actually, let me know as well in the chat, which team do you guys see coming out of the Atlantic? Do you see the Panthers, the Bolts, Bruins, Leafs? Which team do you see being the last team in the Atlantic to survive in the playoffs this year? If I had to say one, I'd probably say Florida, but it's such a close race. I think it'll be Florida or Tampa, though. Leafs need a goalie ASAP. Yeah, they signed Harry Sateri earlier, who was a KHL goaltender, and he's on waivers. So we'll see if he's actually going to stick with this Leafs roster, but I'd agree. I can't believe Ottawa just outplayed themselves with this trade. Absolutely, Emmerich. I mean, this is, I really don't get where, I mean, again, I know where they're somewhat coming from with Shabbat being injured and wanting to add a defenseman, but for that price, are you kidding? I really wouldn't have. Wings would sit tight unless someone overpays. I agree on that. Hey, Antoine with the 2 Canadian. Thank you so much for the donation, brother. What do you think about Corey Shinman? From what he's played with the Habs, I've been very impressed. I want to get more of a sample size of him, but from what I've seen, I've been very happy to see him play well. Grav, got a question. When do you think Copp will be traded and to what team and for what? I was going to predict the Bruins, or I was predicting the Bruins a week ago, but I feel like with them signing and extending Lindholm, I don't know if that's going to quite be the case. I could see, honestly, I mean, just let me look back on the teams because I was going to say the Bruins still, but that night might not be it. Beef, man, thank you so much for subbing, brother. Appreciate it. Looking at the teams across the league, I'd probably say, I mean, we know the Flames aren't done yet, but I doubt they're going to get another center. Maybe the Wild. If the Jets are comfortable trading within their own division, and especially with the Wild, they're probably not going to re-sign Copp. So maybe that's a potential destination. I know they need centermen, and I think Copp could be pretty good on that second line. Will, thank you for the 2. Guys, it's been so long. It's been a year. All love to you as well, William. Great trade for the Canucks. Thoughts on the Jets? I think personally, Christian, they should absolutely tear it down. Keep Ehlers, keep Dubois, keep Hellebuck, and I would say start fresh. It feels like that chemistry in that locker room is just kind of off. And I think personally, rebuilding would be a good direction for the Jets to go to with how good these next few drafts are. Korpisalo and Domi to Toronto. I think with Giordano being traded to the Leafs, that kind of package. I mean, I was speculating in the past Domi and potentially another player like Dean Kukan on that defense could go to the Leafs, but I doubt at this point they're going to be able to make the cap work. FaZe Rebecca, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome. We got 1,400 people over here. We got 4 likes to go as well into 200 likes. So make sure with that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We're going to be breaking down all the trades in this Giordano trade once we finally get the details. And once they go live, you will see it here first. So make sure you guys stick around. And again, from what we can reasonably confirm, it'll likely be a second Travis Sturm, a top prospect, and maybe another pick on top of that for Giordano. That's still what I'm kind of predicting. Justin Braun just traded to Florida. Where'd you see that? Ziki, thank you for breaking the deal. No problem. It's good to see you here, though. Anyone know who they traded for Giordano? Not yet, Jamie. Not yet. That's what we're waiting on right now. Leafs out in the first round. I still think so, goalie man, but it's fun while it lasts. Lafreniere doesn't want to play in Montreal, apparently. Grav, I know you're not an NFL fan, but what are your thoughts on Russell Wilson headed to the Denver Broncos? I'm a Cowboys fan, not really an NFL general fan, but I think Russell Wilson on the Broncos will be very fun. Where is the Giordano info, man? Can we get some L's in the chat for all these guys trying to break us these trades and not give us the details? Like, where is it? Please. A $7 Canadian from Nico. Appreciate it. If Hamnick got a 3, what do you think Kulak will get? That's an interesting question. That is a very interesting question. I'd probably say, I think Kulak would be worth a high second at this rate. If Hamnick gets a 3rd, he should be at least worth a 2nd. But I feel like when it comes to Kulak, if they are going to trade him, I'd probably say it would be like a 3rd and like a 4th. Because I don't think NHL GMs value Kulak as much as Habs fans and I do, because I think Kulak's a really smart under the radar defenseman. But I do think he'll probably be a guy that if he is, personally, I want the Habs to re-sign him, but we'll see what happens. I'd probably say it's a 3rd and a 4th. Ali, what's going on? We also got Luke subscribing. Appreciate you big time, brother. And we also got a big donation from Will as well. The 5 thoughts on the Bolts Rangers game last night. Such a heartbreaker for me. Yeah, I honestly was watching that 3rd period. That felt like a playoff game, and it was so fun. Those calls though were so brutal for both teams. It was a weirdly wrapped game. But yeah, Mika Zibanejad. It's Mika March, everybody. Listen up. I'm so happy. Go Leafs, go. As you should be, Miles. I think this puts them in a much better position for the first round. And the thing for me personally, I feel like for the Leafs, they probably want to face Florida just because for both teams, the vibes first round wise aren't fantastic. I feel like if they do acquire Giordano, and let's say they even get Luke Shen on top of that, I feel like for the Leafs, I feel like they have a chance of beating Florida, but I feel like that would be their best chance. I don't know if they're getting past Boston with their goaltending being as great as it has been recently, and especially I feel like if they face Tampa, I don't think they're getting past the first round. But if it is Florida, I actually do think that that's their strongest chance, even though they have Leafs killer Ben Chiarot on the team. Eric with the 5 donation. Do you think LA will be active and grab somebody like Jakob Chychrun? I hope so. I feel like the Kings have some real good potential. I thought they were going to go after Brandon Hagel because I thought with the term he had and what they were trying to build on that top 6, he'd fit pretty well, but obviously Tampa went after him. But Chychrun would make a lot of sense. We know that the Kings have been looking at him for a while now, so I would not be surprised. All right, let me see if there's anything else. Or any details already leaked to us that I'm just not seeing. All right, not yet. But again, once this does happen, once the details are released on this Giordano trade, you guys will hear it first on this live stream. Oh man, we got 1,400 in this chat. Appreciate you guys coming in. Subscribe if you were new. One shot. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Oh man. I see Petrie being traded at the draft. I can see that too. I think that's pretty realistic. Leafs got James Reimer. I think that'd be pretty fun, especially for Steve, man. I hope that happens. How long do you think you'll be live for? At least until we hear the Giordano details at the very least. So, we could be here for a little bit. Can you send the Twitter link, please, to my account? Just go to Nathan Gravity if you want to. But for the actual trade itself, just look up Elliotte Friedman or Ryan Leslie, and you'll get the trade that Giordano is there. But again, we don't know the details yet on who's going back to Seattle. And Sam Hockey and Music coming with the 279. What could Besser get and where should he go? I still think Montreal or the Rangers would be excellent fits there, especially if they're able to sign him long term because he's an RFA this season. I feel like he'd just fit on a lot of teams that need to score. Not the fastest guy in the world, but a power play player who can and when he's going, play fantastically. I feel like the Rangers just make so much sense, though, especially if they're able to extend them. Brandon, thank you as well for subbing, brother. Appreciate it. Let me see where we're at right now, because last time I checked, we're at 52,200-ish. And appreciate you guys subscribing. And again, we make daily hockey content here. If you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, make sure you subscribe. We are 12 subscribers away from 42.3. We're at right now 52,288 subs. So make sure you guys stick around, subscribe if you're new for more hockey content and all the breakdowns in this live stream as well and more. Oh, a little bit of a breakdown here from Cap Friendly. Let me give you guys this. Let me actually move the donation up here so it'll be a little bit easier to see these tweets. Vancouver originally traded their 2022 third-round pick to Vegas on October 12th. Hey, Chili with a 2. Go to Cap. Oh, well, never mind. Chili, we were there together. We were same brain. Vancouver originally traded their 2022 third-round pick to Vegas on October 12, 2020 in exchange for Nate Schmidt. Vegas then traded that pick to Ottawa on July 28th in exchange for Evgeny Dadonov. Vancouver is now getting that pick back in exchange for Travis Hamonic. So that third has seen some things, ladies and gentlemen. It's been there, done that. Unbelievable. I mean, I really hope whoever that third round pick is an absolute stud, because if that is the case, we're gonna have a fantastic story in about 15 years. Tavin, what's going on? Same wavelength exactly. What they say about what the Kraken got in the Giordano trade? We don't know yet, BS. That's what we're waiting on right now. Rob, thank you so much for subbing. Do you think the Pens will make moves at the deadline? I hope so, the gamer. I mean, for me, I feel like them and the Canucks just make so much as trade teams. I mean, I think Garland just makes so much sense on that top six that they're able to make the cap work. Who else will the Leafs get? I think Luke Schenn makes sense, but I also could see them going after Johan Larsson on the Coyotes. They could potentially use a fourth line center, and I think Larsson is a pretty under the radar, stable player. I mean, I feel like he's the better Riley Nash, like the Leafs got a couple years ago, where a lot of his play comes down to just making sure nothing happens when he's on the ice. But I think he's better overall than Riley Nash was. So I think as a fourth line center, he could provide a lot of fillings of the holes, and I feel like he'd be a guy that depth-wise I would be interested to see the Leafs go after. Are there some Habs news? Not yet, Manu Animation, but I do think we'll see Artturi Lehkonen traded tomorrow. Marcus, nobody claimed Felipe Myers, which I was pretty surprised about. Yeah, he cleared waivers a couple of hours ago. Hey, we got 1,500 in this chat. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you stick around, because again, we're going to get all the details, I think, pretty soon in this Giordano trade. We know that Giordano is going to Toronto. We just don't know what it's actually going to be yet. But again, if you guys want to donate, appreciate that a ton. We got Sam donating another one, hearing Dermott to Vancouver. Yeah, that could be an interesting fit. I know Elliotte Friedman was talking about that earlier. Let me see this. Where was it? I know he was talking about it earlier. Yeah. So this is coming from Elliotte Friedman. Think Vancouver is one of the teams of interest in Travis Dermott. So that's interesting. I mean, we are seeing this Mark Giordano trade. So I'd assume that Dermott is a part of the Giordano trade, but I'm not so sure. We'll see. I mean, it's up there. We'll have to wait until the details. But I think when it comes to Dermott, I would assume he's still a part of that Giordano trade. Now, there was also another Leafs subject that I was really interested in from Pure LeBron. You guys have probably seen it already, because I know it went pretty viral yesterday. But there was a trade that the Leafs and Blackhawks were looking to make yesterday. Where is it? You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's the Fleury and Hagel deal that was supposed to happen, but didn't end up happening with Toronto. It was Pure LeBron that made it, right? Oh, no. It was from Darren Dreger. And I don't know if I can go on my other thing, but basically what happened was Darren Dreger reported that for the Leafs, they were looking at acquiring both Hagel and Fleury, and it would be like multiple first rounders and this huge deal that obviously did not come as Tampa got Hagel instead. But that was a deal that the Leafs and Blackhawks were cooking, but it didn't get to the point where Fleury was asked if he wanted to go to Toronto. So it wasn't like it was super close. Jeff, what's going on? Luke Schenn, I definitely think will be a Leaf at some point. Something from Dreger. Okay, give me a second. Let me see if there's anything. Just to make sure. All right, nothing from Dreger right now, but we do know again that Hamnick has been traded for a third-round pick. That's the other deal that we know has happened. But I like, how long has it been? It's been 30. It's been like 40 minutes. It's been 51 minutes since we knew that Giordano was going to the Leafs, and we still don't know what the actual trade return will be. Sam with another 279. Can we please get some Sam hype in the chat right now? He's done like 3 different donations. Trade idea, Mott and a second for Cal Foot. Ooh, I think that's a little bit rich for if Tampa was able to make that happen. That is a dub for them. I feel like Cal Foot could be a decent defenseman, but I feel like he's a guy that's starting to age out a little bit. I think for maybe a third though, I think that would definitely work out. Besser and Garland to the Penguins. I would say one of those guys would definitely fit for the Pens. No. Where is Fleury? He's in Chicago, but he hasn't been traded yet. Who do you believe is getting moved tomorrow? Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I mean, there's a lot of players still left. For me, one would be I think Artturi Lehkonen is almost a must at this point. Actually, let me just go to my Sportsnet video a couple days back, looking at the top 20 players left. Where was this? There it is. There it is. There's still a few players on this board still left. So obviously you got Jakob Chychrun. I don't think he's going to be available. Let me also make this a little bit smaller here. Yeah, so Jakob Chychrun's still available. I still have my doubts on if he'll be traded. Marc-Andre Fleury still available, of course. Tyler Bertuzzi's up in the air. I think he's kind of a maybe at this point. Mark Giordano has been dealt. And look at that team pick, Toronto Maple Leafs. Your boy with another W. Let's go. Anyways, another Sportsnet W. Let's go. Brock Besser, of course, still available. I think he will likely be the guy dealt tomorrow. We got Ivan Provorov, who is still potentially on the board. Connor Garland, of course, who has not been dealt. Hampus Lindholm, who's been dealt. And look at, wait. Look at this. Give me a second. Team pick, Boston Bruins. And that was like 3 days ago. So there you go. I got the receipts. Philip Zadina is a potential option as well. Brandon Hagel, he's been dealt. Andrew Kopp, I think, is going to be almost a must tomorrow. Arturi Lehkonen as well. Going on to other guys, Paul Stastny is likely to get dealt too. Ninja, thank you so much for subbing. Dominic Kubalik is pretty likely. At the same time, Phil Kessel is practically a must. Jonas Korpisalo, I think, could definitely get moved. Damon Severson apparently is trying to be extended by the Devils, so we'll see how that works out. But yeah, most of the solid names this year are still on the board even after this Giordano trade, so still a lot to be excited for. Predict McDavid to the Flyers. I mean, I could, but I don't know if the Flyers are smart enough to do that. Sorry. I'm sorry, Flyers fan. I like today on the Leafs. I think he could pop over core. Oh, definitely. Him on Toronto, I think would be really fun to see. We got 1,600 absolutely amazing and beautiful people right now. Thank you guys so much for spending your day with me. I appreciate it. And let me know on some of the names on that board. By the way, Rafa saying Kessel to the Leafs, exactly like that. Let me know some of the names on the board. Where do you guys see them going? Kessel, Chychrun, a bunch of guys still left. Do you see a Besser to the Devils trade going? I'd probably assume Ty Smith would definitely be a part of that deal. We knew that Vancouver had interest on him for a while, so I'd assume he's a part. But I feel like after that, maybe a second and a good prospect too. Besser for Marino. I feel like it depends. We're willing to do that. I think it might have happened already, personally. But yeah, I do like where you're going. I think Marino would definitely fit in well with Vancouver's system. Yeah, the Leafs with Kessel would be amazing. By the way, again, let me lead out the band here. Let's get some Sam hype again for another amazing donation. Appreciate you so much, brother. He's a guy that hasn't been on the trade bait at all. That has 1 year left. PK Subban. Yeah, he's almost a definitive move as well. I'm pretty interested to see where PK does go though, because I mean, I was kind of jokingly saying Boston, and now with the Hampus Lindholm deal, that's probably not going to happen anymore. But where do you guys see PK Subban going? Yes, Andrew, Giordano has been traded to the Leafs. Right now, we're waiting on the other details of the deal. We don't know yet what's going back to Seattle, though we can speculate Travis Sturm, potentially a second rounder this year, and potentially some more after that. But yeah, we're still waiting on the actual details here. Yeah, Ryan Leslie has not tweeted out anything since then. And by the way, I had notifications for him just out of the blue for some reason, and it works out pretty well. Come on, Dubas. Yeah, right now we're still waiting. We're still waiting on this deal. Yeah, Hamonic to Ottawa. We talked about that a little bit earlier. It was really funny. I think the Sens trading a third, which is going to be a pretty good third. Well, it's going to be Vancouver's now, so maybe that's how maybe it's just going to be a decent third. But still, trading a third for Hamonic is pretty rough. Is this going to be like the Savard trade last year? Maybe. Where could you see Nick Leddy going? I feel like with Leddy, he was another guy I could see the Bruins going after. But again, with Hampus Lindholm, the cap space is a big issue there. I kind of speculated on Twitter a little bit that the Blues might be a fit for him. I still kind of think that. I'm not sure if they're going to go for a huge rental this year, especially since they were another team that was kind of in on Mark Giordano and now looks to not have him. So I could see them going smaller scale. I could see him fitting on that left side, though, pretty well. It doesn't. Okay, big news from David Pagnotta, everyone. Big news from David Pagnotta. It does not sound like there is a third team involved in the Giordano to Toronto trade. Expectation is Seattle is retaining a portion of his contract. His full cap hit is 6.75. So no third team involved in the Giordano trades. We get some more little crumbs of details here, but no third team involved in the Giordano trade. And by the way, Brandon, huge shout out to you, brother. Appreciate it. We don't know the picks yet, but again, no third team. So usually in a third team trade, you'd see some retention on their end. So we don't see any there. So it looks like Seattle will be retaining all the salary that needs to be retained. Will, thank you so much for the 2. Any thoughts on Raquel being shipped? He's a guy that I definitely think is going to be moved. I feel like at this point, though, it's pretty hard to pinpoint where he's going to go. I feel like the Rangers would be still a pretty good option if they're going to go pure rental, but I feel like he could go to a lot of different teams. I can see the Preds going after him too. Doesn't he get rid of Subban and get a goalie? I don't care where he goes. Get him out. Yeah, at this point, Emma, I'd agree on that. Hamonic is disappointed for joining the Sens. Interesting. From Nick Dollywall. Let me see this real quick. Oh, okay. Wait, let me see this. Travis Hamonic agent Kevin Epp. I think Travis is disappointed. The team is pushing for the playoffs, and he wanted to be a part of that. Travis played hard in Vancouver. We kind of knew a defenseman was leaving Vancouver for cap reasons. So interesting there. Travis Hamonic does not want to go to the Sens, wanting to stay in Vancouver and keep on the team pushing the playoffs. So another layer to this deal. I mean, I still think Hamonic will be fine in Ottawa morale-wise, but at the same time, that's an interesting wrench in this trade that I don't even think made sense on the surface. Even if Hamonic loved to go to Ottawa, even if that was the case, I still didn't think it would be a great one for them. Chili with the 2. Strickland says Canes want another forward. I got you. I should have Andy Strickland on notifications. Let me fix that. Carolina remains on the hunt to add a forward. Interesting. What forward do we think, boys? I mean, Mike with the dub saying Arturi Lehkonen, but what forward do we think is in, or the Canes are targeting right now? I mean, Lehkonen would make sense, actually. I could see maybe as well. I mean, it would be crazy, but Phil Kessel would be very fun on that middle 6. But I feel like Arturi Lehkonen does make a lot of sense, especially since they're probably looking at Tampa and the success that they've had, acquiring middle 6 forwards and wingers specifically. So I could see that. Oh, also from David Pagnota, trade talk is picking up on Blackhawks Calvin DeHaan as of the moment. He is expected to dress for tonight's game versus the Jets. We'll see if that's still the case in 3 hours. So DeHaan as well, potentially being dealt. And he was another guy, at least we're also looking at as an option. So he could be off the board. I doubt that it's going to be the Leafs getting both of them. So that'll be interesting. Let me know in the chat. What do we think with Calvin DeHaan? Where does he go? Because I think for St. Louis, that'd be a pretty great addition for them. Yeah, exactly, Ben H. DeHaan will go to St. Louis. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. I think that's a more under the radar move that makes sense for them right at the moment. We got 1,800 people in this chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. And again, we're going to be breaking down all the trades as they happen, so do not go anywhere. It's great to have you today. And again, as Kelvin says, good job, Dubas, for getting rid of Mrazek. That is a big part of this one. Bring up Nyes and Douglas and get Nick Paul and Raquel. Does Besser have a chance to go to Dallas? I wish, but I don't think so. I think if they're going to trade for somebody, it's going to be a D-man, likely Jeff Petrie. I mean, I would love to get Calvin DeHaan on the Stars. I think that'd be a great addition for them. Do you think the Jets will get trade Kopp, and what do you think they'll actually get for him? Yeah, I do think the Jets will trade Kopp at this point, Brody. David Pagnota also reported that the Jets are looking in more of the selling direction in the next 24 hours. By the way, he also said that the trade deadline is like 24 hours away, which I just realized. But yeah, I feel like for Kopp, he's probably going to get, at this rate, I could see Kopp getting a low first, or a high first from a contending team. JP, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Grab Gang. Appreciate it. And if you guys are new, subscribe. Gene as well, repping the Grab Gang. Appreciate you as well. It's good to have you guys all in here. I don't see Chicago and St. Louis being trade partners. That's true. Maybe the Blackhawks and the Stars, though. Nathan won't notice me though. What are you talking about, Sports Fanatic? That is an absolute lie. Hey, do you think the Oilers are going to make moves? I definitely do think so, Garza. They've been really reportedly going in on depth defensemen. They're likely not going to go after a big guy, but it's pretty likely that they will go after a more depth defenseman, which again, I feel like Carson Soucy is perfect for them. Grab, you see Panthers got hate from Buffalo and Braun sat out yesterday's game. I did see that, Joe. I mean, for the Panthers, that trade earlier was pretty interesting to me because it was actually reported earlier by people that the Panthers will be using LTAR in Ekblad situation to get even more assets or even bring on salary to recoup some of the draft picks they lost. So We'll see what actually happens here with the Panthers. They could be a really interesting team, though, in the next few hours, especially. Is Braun going to the Leafs? Maybe, Adam. I mean, that would be another great addition, I think, for that defense. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep him under the cap, though, because I'm pretty sure he makes like 3.5 or something this year. Not the Rangers. Let me look up real quick. Oh, Braun makes 1.8. Never mind. They might actually be able to keep that. It depends on how much salary retention that was on Giordano. Yari, thank you so much for subscribing, as well as Paul. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep going here. What more do we have? Ooh, Rick Bonus said Miro Heiskanen will skate tomorrow. He rode a bike yesterday and today, and potential could come as soon as Saturday. Bonus caution, but keyword, there's hope. We'll see how it goes. Okay, looks like Miro's coming back early. Appreciate that so much. That's going to help the Stars so much in these next few weeks, man. Oh my goodness. That is season-changing news right now. Let me see. Some people are adding me on Twitter, Nick as well. Yeah, I saw that tweet as well, Marcus, from Kevin Kurz. Letkin, I think personally, with how much Hagel got, he should at least get a late first rounder. I think that'd be very, very worth it, especially since he'll still be an RFA after this year. Is Gorgiev a move for the Rangers? I think he could be traded for sure. Heiskanen got injured. I think he had, or not injured. He had mono 2 weeks ago. So it was a potential timeline that was in the air. We didn't really know when he was going to come back. So it's good to see him recovering pretty quickly. Where's Marc-Andre Fleury moving? Personally, actually, we saw some rumors that Minnesota and Chicago were talking about Fleury. I don't know if that's going to actually happen, but it does feel like if anybody's going to trade for him at this point, it would be Mini. Jim, thank you so much for subscribing. We got 1,800 in here. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. We got 363 likes right now. Let's get 6 more. Appreciate you guys coming in here and being awesome. And let's keep talking hockey, because this is the best time of the year, or one of the best times of the year, in my opinion. So many potential moves to make and so little time now. We knew that Toronto was likely going to have to make a big move to compensate for the other big moves with Florida, Tampa, and Boston. And I just got to say as well, I just got to bring this up real quick. Remember 2 weeks ago when we were all very scared and everybody was talking about how this was going to be an awful trade deadline and how no moves were going to be made? Well, NHL GMs kind of hurt us, and they're starting to at least trying to make all the trades happen before deadline day. So we've seen a lot go down over the past few days, and I'm pretty excited about that, especially the Atlantic Division, man. I mean, it's crazy to see those teams load up as much as they have. Florida, Minnesota for Cam Talbot. Nah, I don't know if Cam Talbot would be. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It would have to be for cap reasons, though. What's the price for Giordano? I expect, Senator, that what we'll likely see with the Giordano trade is a second, a third, potentially Travis Dermott, and potentially a prospect on top of that. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now. This guy isn't looking at Twitter. I absolutely am, Valerie. Have you not seen me refreshing every 5 seconds? What do you think about trading Travis Dermott? I would love to see Ruda, maybe, or plus maybe 4th rounder for Dermott. I think that would be a steal for the Leafs. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does, I think that'd be amazing for them. Or maybe in Tampa, I think Dermott could do well as well. Will Dallas make a move? Right now, I'm not really too sure, especially with Miro Heiskanen looking to be on track for a pretty early return. So I'd probably say it would probably be more depth moves. Leafs Twitter? What are you guys talking about? Let me see. Leafs PR, perhaps? Maybe there's something. No, nothing on Leafs PR or Leafs Twitter. And the thing is, so right now what I'm looking at is all the tweets of the people I have notifications for. So I have all the insiders on notifications. So if they retweet anything or tweet anything, it'll come right up on this feed. So if Elliotte Friedman, which if it happens, Elliotte Friedman would retweet that like 5 seconds into the Leafs PR tweeting about the trade. If it does happen, you will see it on here. So do not worry. It's not like the Leafs are announcing a trade and it's just not showing up and I'm not seeing it. If it does happen, you will see it on here. Kulak back to Calgary. I would like to see that. I think that would be a pretty fun trade to make. I mean, obviously, once he left Calgary, he started to get back or started to really find his game. But I think with the Flames, he'd be very fun. Very fun. Yeah, I saw people talking about Eberle. Let's just not look at fake accounts for right now. Let me see. Yeah, there was a okay, let me show this because I've seen this screenshot floating around. This is a fake screenshot. This is a fake screenshot. What you're seeing here, let me see if it's actually gonna, it won't focus, but it says Giordano, Reimer to the Leafs, Kraken received Dermott 2022 second, Sharks received a 2022 or 2024 second. That's not happening. David Pagnone has already confirmed no 3-team trade is happening here. So that's not true. If you see that, that is a fake tweet. Extreme Gamer, thank you so much for subscribing. And number 29, sorry. 29 is the best number. We are all fake insiders anyway. I mean, I appreciate the self-awareness, Chuck. Leafs still need a winger. I could see them getting another guy. Don't take your infos from Rob McKenzie. Bruins gonna make more moves, maybe on the 4 group LT Dans, but I don't think there's gonna be much. I don't think there's gonna be any more blockbuster trades for them at all. We still don't know what the Giordano package is. What is going on? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, there was a tweet from Maple Layoffs that was a fake one going around too. So Inside Source 22. Interesting. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to acknowledge that either. Leafs need a whole new bottom 6. I don't know if they need a whole new bottom 6. It just depends on who they're facing. I think if it's Florida, I think honestly with Giordano they might have a chance, but I can definitely see them making a couple more depth moves. Gotta assume it's the conditions. That is actually a great point, Mr. Court. There's definitely got to be something cap wise where it's taking a while for us to get the details. That's happened quite a bit trade deadline wise over the past couple of years. So I would not be surprised if that's the case. We got 1,800 people in this stream. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Appreciate all the donators as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah, that's true, Ali, especially on these trade streams. Do you think Pittsburgh will make any moves? I hope so, Pittsburgh fan. I still think Connor Garland is the perfect guy for them, but it just feels like they're not going to trade the defenseman to make that happen. So I could see them going for more smaller options. I mean, one guy I could see them going after is maybe Rickard Rakell, potentially. Graf, can you see this? No, Joe, I cannot. Sorry. Leafs need a goaltender. Fleury will not play in Toronto. Yeah, at this point, it doesn't feel like Fleury will be the guy for them, and especially cap wise, like it's going to be before the Giordano trade, it was going to be a mess to make that work, and even now it's going to be even worse. Tybone, how's it going? What numbers does Giordano get? 5 of his retired. Hasn't he been number 5 for his entire career, or close to it? I'm pretty sure he has. Let me look up his hockey reference right now, because I'm pretty sure he's played 5 from. Oh, he played 46 between 2005 and 2006. Is that retired? Maybe not. We'll see. Hey, TJ coming in with the 2. What's going on, brother? Long time no see. Appreciate you dropping by. Can we get some TJ hype in the chat, y'all? Appreciated for the 2. Prank Skull, what's going on? Is DeBrusk still being traded? Probably not at this rate. I feel like the Bruins might actually just keep him. All right, let me see if anybody else has added me on anything other than that. All right, I haven't seen anything else. And again, if you guys do see any rumors, make sure you add me on Twitter, because there could be some. Oh, this is an interesting tweet from Platinum Seat Ghost. Let me bring this up to give you guys some more context on what's going on with this Giordano trade as well. We kind of talked about this. I think this trade is bigger and it's complicated. The league was almost certainly Gio himself or his agent, but they don't know what else is involved. So this is likely why we're seeing this delay in the trade. And $5 from TJ. Are you kidding me, man? Please stop being this legendary. I am begging. I am begging. If you don't know, TJ's been on this channel for a while, has made some insane donations. Appreciate it again, brother. Can we get some TJ hype, please? But yeah, again, from Platinum Seat Ghost making a good point that it likely could be a leak from Giordano or his agent, which would make sense because the original report was by Ryan Leslie, who's been a Flames reporter for a while. So he might have some good connections with Giordano and his agent specifically, and that's how he got that info from initially. So that would not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all. So again, giving you guys some more context, and we can also see more conditional things and cap shenanigans happening here, which again delay the trade. So does not surprise me in that way. And if you guys are just coming in, we saw earlier the Canucks getting their own 2022 third-round pick in exchange for Travis Hamonic to the Sens. To me, I still like this. Even 30 minutes later, this trade is not looking good. Like, I think personally, Vancouver is fleecing right now. Gotta respect it. And another 5 from TJ. Thank you so much, man. Unbelievable. Let's get some TJ hype. TJ hype. TJ hype. TJ hype. Ali, Grab, give me your opinion on Brian Elliotte. I like him. That's like my only thoughts, though. Those are my only thoughts. Trade Nylander for a power forward. What kind of power forward, though? Like, what are we thinking? What are we thinking here? Get rid of that liability haul. He blows. I agree on that. Please, Oilers, do something. I think they'll do something at this deadline, but I don't think they're going to do anything insane with the cap shenanigans that they're going to have to maneuver. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to work out for them. Oh, as well from Jeff Merrick. Let me make sure I got Merrick's notifications on. So this comes from Jeff Merrick. As we reported last night, don't expect the Oilers to make a big splash. Working on picking up a left shot defenseman, and that might be it. They like their forwards and their goalie and the goalie market isn't there for them. Thank you as well, Habs fan, for adding me on that. So there's some more info on the Oilers' expectations and direction at this deadline, which we were kind of talking about earlier. They might only go for depth defensemen. I'm pretty sure Susie is a left defenseman. Let me make sure, because again, I really want Susie to be on the Oilers. I think that'll be a great addition. Great addition, please. Susie is a left defenseman. I'm calling it now, man. Carson Susie is going to Edmonton. It's happening. It is happening. It is happening. It's automatic. So yeah, it looks like the goaltending situation for the Oilers will not be solved anytime soon. Cody with the 2. Do you think the Avs could pull a big move? I really think they're going to be a weird team, because we initially thought they might be like the Panthers this year, where they go after Giroux, they go after Chiarot, they might go after another guy. But right now, as it stands, I can see them going for more smaller moves. They were kind of linked to Andrew Kopp specifically, which I think would be a pretty good addition for them. But that might be like the max. That might be like the max that they go for. What the? DJ with the 10. What's going on here, man? Thank you so much, last donor, man. Love you and have a good one. Thank you so much. Can we get some humongous, some cataclysmic TJ Oshie hype? Thank you so much for the 10 donation, brother. Appreciated. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, and we also got Tecmo. Welcome to the member gang as well, brother. Can we get some hype for them? Appreciate it. And some good emojis coming your way as well. So I'll put Jeff Merrick on notifications, and we should be good there. And again, if you guys see anything else, let me know. Oh, Marco. Did Marco with the bomb? Marco with the bomb? D Amico. What the heck? Oh, MD Amico. There we go. Nope, never mind. MNDAIM. Okay. There we go. So for Marco, I think he's breaking a little bit of a rumor here. Reported interest in Kulak to fill that left shot. Hey, if the Oilers get Kulak, that is an amazing option. That is an amazing option for them. Could we see an Oilers and Kulak trade, everyone? Let me know in the chat down below what you guys would think. We'll go back to Montreal. Devin, thank you so much for the 2. Blue Jackets doing anything. Underrated future. I feel like right now they might be one of the more quiet teams, because I'm trying to think of what they would even sell. I think Jonas Korpisalo and Max Domi are the 2 big ones. But I feel like Domi was such an interesting addition to a team like the Bruins or the Leafs. I could see him going to the Avs, though. I could see Domi going to the Avs and adding to that speed of the team. So maybe that's like the big one they make. But no, I don't think they're going to get like a Seth Jones haul or a David Savard type haul this time around. But still pretty solid. I think for the Oilers, man, I mean, I would like Carson Susie. I would love absolutely love Brett Kulak on the Oilers. That would be a perfect addition. Tavin, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for subscribing. I've seen you before. Thoughts on the Hammock trade? It is a humongous dub for the Canucks. Like, it's not even funny. Charles, thank you very much so much for subscribing as well. Autobot with a 2. Should we sleep on the Predators? I would say no, but I still think they're probably going to lose in the first round because right now they're probably going to face the Flames. And I just feel like Calgary is more strong. By the way, from Sean Hutchin, the NHL Bruins may not be done dealing. Interesting little update there on Boston. What is their cap space now with Lindholm? They got $6 million? Wait. Wow, the Bruins, I didn't know the Bruins had that much cap space. They got $6 million in deadline cap. They got $6.1 million in deadline cap. That is a lot. Maybe we could still see Max Domi or a Ricard Raquel or even an Andrew Cobb going there still. That would be an interesting addition. Pens and Avs and Pat's Band, thank you so much for coming in and subscribing, you goats. Appreciate it. Dan Rosen, got the trade details? Hello? Hello? Do we have the trade details, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have the trade details, ladies and gentlemen? No. Okay. Or I guess on the Hamonic deal. 3rd round pick, originally belonged to Vancouver. Interesting. So nothing on Giordano yet. You got me excited though. You got me excited. Oh man, we're playing the waiting game, boys and girls. We're playing the waiting game. Good to still see you here, Manu. Gotta love reporters falling for fake accounts. Exactly. Thoughts on who the Wings trade? I feel like Thomas Greiss makes the most sense. Excuse me. Since he is a UFA here, yeah, right. 3.6. I really don't like Greiss that much now. He has an 887 save percentage this year. Yikes. But Nick Leddy is also another guy that we likely will see dealt. I don't think they're going to trade anybody major, though. It'll be pretty obvious deals. By the way, the Wings have $55 million in deadline cap. What? Why aren't they using that? Come on, Stevie. Come on. Will Dallas trade Klingberg for a forward? No. No, they're not trading Klingberg right now. Amanda, thank you so much for subscribing. Somebody said Darren Dreger. Let me check. Let me just see. I want to make sure. I want to make sure of Dreger because we never know. We do never know. Okay, nothing from Dreger. Nothing from Dreger. I want to do my due diligence for you guys though. I want to do my due diligence because that's how we roll. Okay. Nothing else from what I'm saying. Nothing else from what I'm saying. Does Dallas make the playoffs? I sure hope so, Austin. I sure hope so, but I feel like if they don't, they could honestly be one of the bigger rebuilding teams in the next couple of years. Yeah, $55 million in cap space for the deadline. Andrew Cobb will be a good fit on the Rangers. I could see it. Yeah, as a third line center, I could definitely see it. I don't know. I'm just interested in what the Rangers' plan is for this deadline because they could be one of the bigger teams in the final day. There's nothing on Lee's Twitter. If there was, somebody would have retweeted it by now. Again, I have all the insiders. What you're seeing right now is just a list of all the insiders and their recent tweets and retweets. If the Lees tweet something out, you're going to see it on here when I refresh. And as a matter of fact, let me just do that right now. And nothing yet. But again, I will say a second, Dermott third, and likely a prospect. I still think of Chinikov, but maybe there's another defensive prospect on top of this. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a major prospect like a Nick Robertson or a Toppy Nebula. I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening, but I still think there's room to be made here for a potential prospect back as well for Seattle. Because I think that's what they would still be looking for as well. Should the Canucks sell? I think so, actually, Zachary. Like, looking at what the trade prices are right now, the fact they got Hamonic for a third round pick, I think that just shows that, yes, the Canucks absolutely should. Maybe what they're also doing is waiting for teams to get desperate, like the Rangers, like the Leafs, and make some potential moves. I mean, especially if it's like a Luke Shen to Leafs trade, I feel like that could definitely happen. Does the Panthers putting Ekla on a long-term injury reserve, does that open up cap space to make another move? Yes, it does, Anthony. And we heard confirmation, I think from Pierre LeBrun earlier, that they'll be using that cap space to potentially get another player or use that cap space to recoup some of the draft picks they lost with their big buying recently. I was played, grab a plate. It was a fake Twister account. Hey, no problem. I just want to explain for everybody that's falling for those. Yeah, exactly, Lick. Hamnick was on waivers at the start of the year. The Sens could have had him for free. I sometimes Pierre Dorian does take some W's, but sometimes, man, that guy, I don't know what that man is doing. I don't know what that man is doing. Let me know as well, again, where you guys see Calvin DeHaan going, because he's another guy that we expect to get moved, maybe soon, maybe tonight. At least need another defenseman. Yeah, I assume that they're likely going to go for Shen. That's who I predict. That's who I predict. You think Habs trade Gallagher? I don't think so. Not yet. I mean, like that would be more of an off-season trade. Alexander Barabanov would be a good depth piece. Yeah, he was another guy that was speculated to be a likely Sharks trade. Good amount of excitement from some Leafs players I've connected with about the acquisition of Giordano. He'll fit in nicely with that room. Why are we getting the feelings of Leafs players before the actual trade details? Why? David, throw us a bone, please. Oh my goodness. This is just sad, man. This is torture. Just give me the details, bro. These players right now. I don't care. I really don't. Andy, thank you so much for subbing. Appreciated. Good to have you on the Grab Gang. Can I call you gravitational pull? Sure, Faze. If the Kraken get Matthew Nyes in this deal, that is an absolute steal. Absolute steal. I doubt it though. Yeah, I can put slow mode on a little bit. Let me see if I can actually do this. I'll put slow mode on. I'll make it like 5-second slow mode, so it's not too much, but it's just enough. There we go. By the way, we got 1,800 people still in this chat right now. We are all waiting for this Giordano info right now, and I appreciate you guys sticking with us while the speculation and anxiety. Oh, what did I tell you, boys? When a trade happens, Elliotte Friedman is there for us. The Red Wings trade Troy Stecher to the Kings for a 7th-round pick. That's good value. That is good value for the Kings. That is good value for the Kings. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see, because it's a really big graphic for some reason. But the LA Kings acquire Troy Stecher, and the Wings get a 7th-round pick. That's solid for the Kings. That's a dub. That's a dub. I kind of expected Steve Yzerman to probably get more for him. I know Stecher hasn't been amazing, but I still like him. Hasn't he? Let me look him up back again. I need to refresh myself. I need to refresh myself on Stecher. So yeah, he hasn't played that many games this year. 16 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. I can't remember what his injury was, but it's an interesting one. Troy Stecher. Okay, there's nothing there on. Never mind. I was trying to look up his J Fresh card, but there's nothing. Let me see if there's anything else here. But yes, from Dennis Bernstein as well, the Kings acquire Troy Stecher. I mean, for a 7th-round pick, that's depth. You can maybe put him on your bottom pair. Good skater, good fundamentals. Not exactly the greatest defensive player, but he has some good intangibles too. I feel like for the Kings, that's a trade that's pretty easy to make. I'm surprised though for Steve Yzerman that he didn't get at least like a 3rd-round pick. At least, like, okay. I just gotta say this right now. I know Stetcher's been injured this year, but how does Troy Stecher get a 7th-round pick and Travis Hamonic get a 3rd? I don't understand NHL GMs right now. I really don't. Crazy seeing a Yzerman trade that isn't an absolute fleece. That's true. I mean, I think it's fine for the Red Wings, I guess. Sure, why not? But I think for the Kings, man, that's a good trade to make. If you're LA. I mean, I don't know how many games he's going to play on that defense, but I could see him having a couple a decent role there if he needs to be relied upon. So overall, a depth move there, nothing too fancy, but trade ahead of the deadline, and we'll see. I think we'll see the Kings as well continue to make some more trades like that. Maybe not on the defense, maybe more on the forward group depth-wise, but interesting deal there. Interesting deal. Let me know in the chat down below, though. 1 for LA and 2 for Detroit. Who do you guys think wins this smaller deal? What Seattle gets back for Giordano, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. We are trying to get the details on those right now. I expect we'll see them pretty soon, though. I expect we'll see someone pretty soon. All right, let me see if there's any other updates from you guys. And once again, Troy Stecher traded to the Red Wings, so we got a couple of smaller deals there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Look at this, guys. Oh, no. They got Dougie. They got Dougie. From Doug Gilmour's official Twitter. They got him. Doug. No. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Doug Gilmour falling for a fake account, man. You cannot make that up. You cannot make that up. Oh. Oh, no. Oh. All right. Again, this trade is not real. This is not a real trade. Doug Gilmour got played. He got played, man. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. By the way, shout outs to everybody that follow me, Dr. Allo, and all these beautiful, beautiful people. Appreciate it. If you do want to follow me on Twitter, at Nathan Gravity, appreciate that. We got some good content on here. I did a Kevin Weeks impression on his breaking trades from the moon, so definitely worth it for sure. Can we get some L's or W's in the chat for Doug Gilmour, Leafs legend, falling first? It's gotta be one of the best moments in Twitter history, man. I love that so much. You would think that happens more. You'd think that happens more, but Doug Gilmour is a class act, man. Class act. Damo, we do not know the trade details yet on the Giordano trade. We do not know the trade details yet. I'll make a Twitter just to follow you. I got you. Thank you, Ali. Where does your name Gravity come from? Is your last name? No, Elias. I originally wanted to just make my name Gravity, the word, but I put I put EH at the end to be different, and that's how it happened. That's all it has to be. Red Wings aren't retaining any salary on Troy Stecher, so we get some more details on that one, which I wasn't really expecting. Troy Stecher makes $1.7 million. What are the Kings cap space right now, deadline wise? Oh. So with Troy Stecher, they only have $1 million in cap space deadline wise left. So they might actually not be making that many more moves. Unless they're going to get rid of a guy like an Athanasiou. I could definitely see that. But not many more options left for LA unless they make some big salary cap moves ahead of time. Any idea on why Stevie Y is making such small deals? I mean, I don't know if it'll lead to something else. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we never know what Steve Yzerman is going to do. We never know what Steve Yzerman is going to do. Hey, CD with a 7. Canadian. Haven't tuned in for a minute. Big bro, congratulations. Are we waiting so long for Giordano details because there's multiple teams in the trade? No. David Packard will confirm no 3-team trade, but the reason why it might be taking so long is the conditional picks could be in play here. We could also see salary cap coming in as well. So there could be a lot factoring into this trade that we don't know yet that could come into play. So make sure you guys get some CD hype in the chat. Appreciate you so much, man. For the 7 Canadian coming in. Ali, I'll be streaming on the Sportsnet YouTube channel at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for the deadline frenzy. Make sure you guys are all there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're actually going to have some good graphics on the screen that are way better than this stream right now. So make sure you head over there for all your deadline recaps and breakdowns and everything as they go. You guys know, I mean, this is the place to be for all the trade deadline stuff. So make sure you subscribe. But we're going to be doing all of that on Sportsnet tomorrow for the trade deadline extravaganza. So it'll be amazing. And I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we're going to have actually graphics on the screen, trade targets. We'll have highlights on the screen as players get dealt. So it'll be a very fun one. Very fun one. Hey Kane, that's fine with me, brother. I mean, even if you could just like have your phone on in the background or just have volume off, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of stuff on the screen so you guys can see the trades, even if you can't listen in exactly. Do you think that Ty-Domi's son to the Leafs? I don't think so at this point, Morgan. I think the cap is not going to work on their side. Since I'm pretty sure Domi makes 5.2. Pierre LeBrun as well. Doughty's exact return remains unclear. Probably a couple of weeks before that gives it a try again. So the Kings needed some depth in case. So some more context on that Troy Stecher deal. But for the Leafs right now, was I actually going to look at the Leafs or somebody else? But now with Giordano, I mean, he makes 6.7, I believe. He makes a lot of dough. Yeah, 6.75 as a rental. So even if it's 50% retained, let's say back to around 3.35, you still only have about $1 million to work with. So I don't know, unless they bring out some even more shenanigans and maybe trade somebody else like an Alex Kerfoot. I don't know if Domi's going to be the guy for them. I think he's just too expensive, and he'd also have to be 50% retained as well. Trying to go, but I put my phone down for 1 minute. And Drew gets dealt. That's all I can say. Rough. That's rough, buddy. Did Knies get traded, or is it fake? It is fake, Jacob. If you've seen a trade like Doug Gilmour, okay, let me just pull this up. Because this is a great example. Leafs legend Doug Gilmour got duped. He got destroyed. If you see this graphic, this is not real. This is not a real trade. It's somebody that made a graphic, including Knies, Dermott, and a conditional second. This is not the real trade. It hasn't been confirmed yet by anybody, not even the analysts, not even the Leafs. So do not believe anything you've seen yet. Once it does happen, though, you will see it on this live stream. You'll see it on this feed here. So keep your eyes out. You think DeBrusk will leave? Honestly, at this point, I feel like the Bruins are going to keep him for depth reasons. Since he's played a lot better over the past couple weeks, I could see him continuing on this Bruins team. Oh, wait. Shaden, and this is our year. Tagged me on a post from Bucci Gross, but it was just deleted. Let me see. Is there something from Bucci Gross? Interesting. So Bucci Gross tweeted out something that I got tagged in a couple of times, and then it was deleted when I saw it. So maybe he tweeted out something that was fake or something. I don't know exactly. Yeah, Knies has not gotten traded. And I doubt he will be traded in the Giordano deal. I doubt that's going to be the case. By the way, we got 500 likes in this live stream. Thank you guys so much for the support tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. If you got let me know in the chat down below as well. What city, what state, what country are you guys watching from? I know, let me see. Eric tagged me watching the show from Goderic, Ontario, Canada. Love the show today. Wait. Kevin Weeks. Whoa! Kevin Weeks! For what I'm told, an update on the reported Maple Leafs and Kraken trade for Giordano and COLIN BLACKWELL as well going to the Leafs. The Leafs are doing some salary cap gymnastics to make the money work for this deal to go final. So not just Mark Giordano, also COLIN BLACKWELL going to Seattle. So we get even more details here from Kevin Weeks. Kevin Weeks, he is the man. Kevin Weeks. Kevin, we love you. We love you, Kevin. We love you. Finally something. Oh my goodness. It's been a century. So we also got COLIN BLACKWELL going back to the Leafs, which I think is actually a really sneaky addition by them. Thinking about it now, he can be their fourth line center, be a good bottom line guy. Canada, Quebec here. Good to see it, Alex. Talking about from Vegas, Park Del Toronto. Good to see you guys come in. With BLACKWELL, 28 years old, center right winger. He'll be a UFA after this season. He can play all different positions. 17 points, 8 goals, 9 assists, 30 in 39 games this year. Yeah, I think on a fourth line for Toronto, that's exactly the type of player that I want to get. So that makes sense for the Leafs. I think that's a pretty good addition. We'll obviously see what the trade is after this, but looks like COLIN BLACKWELL will be a part of this trade for the Leafs. I think that's an amazing move. We got 1,900 in this chat. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button. Donate if you want to and support the stream. That's the best way to do so, really. I appreciate you guys coming in. Man, Kevin Weeks with the bomb. Kevin Weeks with the bomb. He is the man. He is the man. Jenny, what will Blackwell bring? I think a lot of really good intangibles, but also on the ice, he's a great face-off guy, strong defensively, puts in a lot of work, especially with the Rangers when he played there. I was just so impressed by, even though his skill wasn't as good as a Panarin, obviously, he was always putting in 110%. He was digging in the corners excellently. He's a good puck retrieval guy. He's able to win battles very efficiently. A lot of things I think for the Leafs will be a really good thing to have. And I think on that fourth line, if he's the fourth line center, I feel like that's a great addition for Toronto. Dennis, what's going on? Hello from Edmonton. Good to see you. Giordano on the Kraken was weird. It was. Very true. Jordan with the 2. Just saw that Brock Besser is getting moved. Ooh, from where, Jordan? From where? From where, my man? Let me see if there's anything. Holy cow, Kevin Weeks giving us something, finally. By the way, even though I might not like every message, I appreciate you guys. Adding me on all the messages. Yeah, Brock, I did see that. So from Craig Morgan, he was saying the Coyotes are making progress on trading Johan Larsson, who we talked about earlier as a potential fourth line center for the Leafs. But now since Blackwell is their guy at this point, seemingly, I would expect that to be the way that goes. But yeah, I like Colin Blackwell for the Leafs. I think that's going to be a good addition, man. Very good addition. Yep, I've caught up on Kevin Weeks, Mark. We're right here. We are right here. Man, Kevin, please give us the rest of this deal. Your only hope right now. Your only hope. Grab, what do you think the return from Nick Paul would look like? I would probably say early third, maybe late second, Ben. I think with what players are getting at this rate, I think that would be pretty fair value for a guy who can play pretty good playoff style, especially. JFresh stats for Blackwell. I'm not sure how good it is. Let me see here. I don't expect him to be like an analytical player. At least last time I checked. Oh, never mind. Colin Blackwell, 76% on the WAR. But yeah, you see in terms of the finishing, in terms of the penalty differential. Sometimes when it comes to players like these as well, also you see this is a big thing. Look at the defensive spike. That's what I'm talking about. The defensive spike this year was huge with Seattle. He was a great defensive player from what I've seen on the Kraken this season. So that's going to be a big thing. His offense has definitely dipped, but his finishing's been good. I feel like for the Leafs, man, that's a solid addition. Very solid addition. Nothing that's gonna automatically get them to the second round, but it's those type of pieces that you desperately need if you're gonna want to contend against the other teams in the Atlantic. So honestly, not a bad job. Emily Kaplan. I know Emily Kaplan has had some stuff in the past. Let me put on notifications for her. I'm not seeing anything right now, but I'll check up on her in a little bit. What do you think happens with Forsberg and the Preds? Honestly, at this point, Danny, I kind of see them just staying on Nashville. And even though their contract negotiations aren't close, I could see them just sticking with it and trying to make a negotiation and contract happen before the end of the playoffs this year. Sean, appreciate that. Actually, let me tweet out the link on this stream for a second. Let me just, hey, thank you so much, locking over the 19-month membership. What's the status on Klingberg, by the way? What's working with Sportsnet like? Also showed the lettuce are the Stars sellers. I doubt that Klingberg's going to be moved. I feel like he's a guy that's, I haven't showered today, by the way, so it's not good, not great. Dreger tweeted something out. Hold up. Whoa. Give me a second, shall we? Give me a second. Travis Sturm has been traded to Vancouver. Holy mama, awesome. Thank you so much for the 2-month membership. What time are you going live tomorrow? 12 p.m. Eastern. Travis Sturm has been traded to Vancouver. Travis Sturm has been traded to Vancouver from Darren Dreger. This is a weird... Okay. What is going on here? Because we all thought that Travis Dermott would be a part of this Giordano trade, right? So now that Dermott's not going there, could we... I mean, now I'm interested because We all expected Dermott to go to Seattle in this Giordano trade. Now that's not happening. Now I'm really interested to see what the Leafs actually do give up for Giordano. I was again saying like a second, third, maybe something on top of that with Dermott, but now that Dermott's not a part of it, that's going to be weird. Maybe also Toronto is sending Hall to Seattle potentially. Maybe that's trading too many defensemen. But Dermott is going to Vancouver. I think that's a really good addition by them. Solid young defenseman. Hasn't been the greatest in the Leafs system defensively, but good skater, good puck protection guy. I think there's some good things to look for with Dermott in Vancouver. I could see him becoming maybe a fifth defenseman for them as soon as this year. Let me know in the chat down below, though. Let me know in the chat down below. What are you guys thinking on this deal? What do you think goes back to the Leafs as well? Because Dermott is going to Vancouver. Big deals here for the Leafs. Stick in this live stream. We have a ton of breaking news coming, boys. I told you we were going to see more and more stuff like this. We got 2,000 people in this stream. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be getting the details on this Dermott trade soon. But let me know for the Canucks, W or L for Vancouver getting Dermott. Let me know. Let me know. I don't know if Nye is going to be a part of it. I feel like he's too valuable for the Leafs. And we heard from Kyle Dubas that they didn't want to trade a first or their top prospects in Nemula or Nye to get a rental. So I don't think so. Does Dallas add Nick Leddy? Maybe. I hope not, because I'm not really the biggest fan of him, but there is a potential there. So again, Pierre LeBrun and Chris Johnson retweeting Darren Dreger. Travis Dermott is going to Vancouver. Let me know what you guys think of the trade details or what is going to go back to the Leafs. I would assume it's probably going to be like a third-round pick or something. Imagine if it's a third-round pick, the Canucks got in the Hamonic deal, and again, that pick gets traded. We shall see, but I don't think it's going to be an amazing return. But, I mean, with how much everybody else has gotten, who knows? Who knows? Breaking news, Lisa signed 5'11" Alani. This is Larceny. Congrats on Sportsnet. Thank you so much, Autobot. Dermott gone to Vancouver. 3 7th-round picks for Giordano, no more, no less. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Appreciate you guys as well, though, telling me Dreger in the chat. Definitely helpful. And again, if you don't know already, Dreger, I am blocked by him. So if I go on here, I mean, the full story is, remember when the Marner negotiations were happening and there was all the accusations that his dad was influencing Dreger to like up his value? I was just like, okay, Dreger, are you I can't remember his name, I can't remember Mitch's dad's name, but it was like, are you blank Marner ? In all caps, and then he blocked me. It was something as simple as that. And I don't even know if he blocked anybody else for it. So a little bit icky there, but still, we'll see what the details are in this Dermott trade soon. This is a good one from Steve, actually. This is a good one from Steve. By the way, Steve Dangle, you might know him. The Giordano deal is just Whirlo with more steps. Ryan Leslie got Giordano. Kevin Weeks got Blackwell. One of the last 3. I like that. Who would pay the most for Lekin, and what could the return look like? At this point, I feel like, Elliotte, Friedman, and Pierre LeBrun almost right at the same time. A 3rd-round pick for Travis Dermott. There we go. I called it. 3rd-rounder, Travis Dermott. 3rd-rounder, Travis Dermott. And that's not really too surprising. I would imagine, I mean, if it's the Canucks one again, that would be really funny. But actually, it might. Do the Canucks have any other thirds? It might just be that 3rd again. Oh, they have the Jets and their own, so it could be one of those two. Pretty similar in terms of draft position, though. So Dermott does get a 3rd-round pick. Honestly, I think that's fine for both teams. I think that's a W for the Canucks, if I had to say anything, because I think he could provide some possession value for them. Bring some good skating, still pretty young. And obviously he wasn't really going to fit in this Leafs team long term. So overall, I mean, I don't really mind it for either team. I would say the Canucks, though, probably get the better of it. Oh, we got Kevin Weeks. What is that room, buddy? Can we talk about what this room right now with Kevin Weeks? Legendary stuff. What is that? Is that grass? Is Kevin Weeks hanging up grass on his walls? Anyways. Dermott will be going to Vancouver for a third rounder. I think that's fine. I'll say W for Vancouver. Let me know in the chat down below. Put a 1 for the Canucks and a 2 for the Leafs. Who do you think wins that trade? Right now, Dermott is going to a third. Coming to the Leafs coming to the Canucks for a third round pick. Is Harry Sateri any good? Don't know anything about him. He played with the Florida Panthers a couple years back. He's been doing really good in the KHL though. Kind of magic beans, honestly. Dermott doesn't even make our team. A third is good. Yeah, I agree on that, Shooter. To get a third, I think that's fine value. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like a second round pick, that would be pretty good, but it's fine. I have not forgotten that, Cottony. I have not forgotten that. When this trade first was speculated for a third, I'm like, oh, is it going to be Vancouver's that they're going to trade again? It could still be. I would expect, though, for Vancouver, they really wanted. I mean, actually, oh, you guys want to hear something right now? I think it actually will be. It'll be a third, obviously. But the reason why this trade happened is because of the Hamonic deal. Really, like specifically, it was because of the Hamonic deal. If the Canucks didn't get another third in that Hamonic deal, and they weren't able to have 2 for this year and have another one expendable, they wouldn't have really weighed the risk and gotten Dermott, I don't think. So they basically get a third and they give another one away for Travis Dermott, which I think honestly, like basically the way we can look at this for the Canucks is they exchanged Travis Hamonic for Travis Dermott. And that's amazing. Like that, I feel like that is, if you look at it that way for the Canucks, this is a steal. Like that is exactly what you should want. So for me in that situation, that's a W for Vancouver. So you kind of have to look at it that way. I think that's a very solid day's work from Patrick Alvin there. Not too bad. I mean, if that was a 1-for-1, we would have all gone crazy against the Leafs. So just seeing that now, pretty solid by the Canucks. Something from Jeff Merrick here. Okay, he retweeted Elliotte from it. Never mind. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to share the link on Twitter. Let me do that right now. We are live breaking down every trade before deadline day. Join us now. All right. Now that that's that, we'll be good. Hamonic is a steadier defenseman. When he does play well, I think so, but I don't think Hamonic's at that level anymore. Thoughts on Mrazek? Really bad. I know there's a lot of people that were at the streams of last year's free agency. Now, here's the thing. I want to say this right now. It was not all W's because I did say the Freddie Anderson contract was terrible and I didn't think he was going to be all that good for Carolina. So that was an absolute L and I was a clown for that. But I also did say that Mrazek was going to be a horrible decision for the Leafs. And I thought that term especially was going to sink them. And so far they haven't even gotten through 1 year without putting him on waivers, which is unbelievable. Here from Twitter, Ryan, what's going on, brother? Good to see ya. Thoughts on Lehkonen? Extremely underrated. Should be a great addition for any team that needs a middle 6 player. I think he should get a first round pick, hopefully more for the Habs. And I don't doubt Kent Hughes. If he wants to trade for him, he'll definitely get a good deal. Does Dallas fetch a mid rounder for Radulov? I hope so, Jordan. I could probably see like a 4th rounder being pretty close to that. Yeah, Weeks is just chilling, man. You got to respect the grind with Kevin Weeks, man. Austin, I will be on Sportsnet's YouTube channel tomorrow, live streaming the NHL trade deadline at 12 p.m. Eastern. Everybody, right now, 12 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet's YouTube channel. I will be streaming there. That's what all you need to know. If you have enjoyed this stream so far, all the breakdowns, it is going to be almost exactly like that, but even with more great graphics and a lot less mess on the stream, because I'll actually have other great people with me, like producer Nick and producer Tom, alongside helping me along. So it's going to be much better than this stream. So if you're enjoying, go over there on Sportsnet, subscribe, and put on some notifications for tomorrow, because it's going to be a little bit nuts. Now, again, on the Giordano front, we know that Colin Blackwell is also going back to the Leafs, but with what's going back to Seattle, nobody has really reported anything yet, so we still have a lot. I mean, honestly, what I expect to happen is that we're going to see all of what Seattle gets back instantly. I think it's going to come all at once. It's going to come in one wave, and we're going to be shocked by it all in 1 minute or so. But I feel like it's about to come. The third round pick went to Seattle for Giordano, deal for Dermott. Chychrun is a good goalie. I hope he is, Brandon. I mean, not the greatest showing against Nashville, but I hope he plays well. Oh, come on, Rangers. Come on. Announce McDavid. Come on, guys. Come on. I'll be able to watch it on my lunch break. I'm going to try and watch as many parts of the stream as I can. Thank you, Malik. I appreciate it, man. I know it's pretty awkward timing right in the middle of a school day for all you guys, so I appreciate anybody you got can come in and give us some support over there. It's going to be awesome. Are the Leafs making the second round? I would predict not. Actually, let me know in the chat down below. What round do you guys see the Leafs finishing in? Do you see them finishing the first, second, third, fourth? Do you see them winning the Stanley Cup? Let me know in the chat with Giordano, COLIN BLACKWELL potentially added to the team. Let me know what you guys think about Toronto's potential playoffs, because to me, it all kind of comes down to who they face. If they face Florida, I feel like they have a chance of getting past the second round. But I feel like that's the only team that they would face that they'd have they could have a decent chance of going against and winning. I don't think they're winning against Tampa. I don't think they're winning against Carolina. I don't think they're winning against Boston either. Julian, what's going on, brother? Good to see you today. Hopefully you're having a great one. We got Garrett, we got Justin again, and we got Ben, Kenneth, Shooter McGavin, we got Albert Dean, we got Ghana, we got Darcy, we got Jeep Man, we got Shin, we got Lando, we got Gally Price, Sammy Garg, we got Levi Vlogs, Tiago, Jeep Man. Good to see you guys. The time for tomorrow's stream on Sportsnet is 12 p.m. Eastern. So I think about 3 hours before or 4 hours before. I think the delay has to do with waiting or having to wait until 5 p.m. Eastern for the Leafs cap roster perspective and Mrazek being on waivers. Interesting. So an update here from Pierre LeBrun. Okay, wait, okay, let me try and digest this. I think the delay has to do with having to wait until 5 p.m. Eastern, which is in 15 minutes, by the way. 15 minutes from a Leafs cap roster perspective, and Mrazek being on waivers. So interesting. So is Pierre LeBrun basically saying that in 15 minutes we're going to get the details? I think that's what he might be saying. I don't know exactly if he's saying that, but he's saying the delay has to do from waiting until 5 p.m. Eastern from the Leafs perspective. So maybe it's just, yeah. Why are they waiting? Maybe somebody can tell me. Why are they waiting for 5 p.m. Eastern specifically? Is that when Mrazek's cap actually goes down officially or something? Interesting. Very interesting. No, Denzel, we're waiting on that right now. I guess we could have that those details coming to us in 15 minutes. Is hockey big in Texas? I would say it's definitely growing. Over the past 10 years, I think the Stars have done a great job because I mean, 10 years ago, there was like maybe 5 rinks around here that could actually that you can actually go to and practice skating and try for the first time. Nowadays, there's like 30. There's been a huge resurgence in that, and every single time I go, it's packed, which is great. So I think it's definitely growing. It's obviously not going to be bigger than football anytime soon, or really ever. But I do think hockey, when it comes to here down, especially in Dallas, I think it's really underrated. I mean, the Stars are, I'm pretty sure, like 9th in attendance this year, average wise, which makes sense since they've been open the entire season. But still, I think it shows to just how committed Stars fans are, even when this team isn't even that good. 5 p.m. is when waivers are passed for calculation. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. That's what I was kind of thinking. That's what I was kind of thinking with the Mrazek situation. So there you go. Thank you guys for explaining that to me. That would make sense then. That would make sense. So apparently we might be getting the details in exactly 14 minutes. So let's keep it going, baby. Appreciate you guys all stopping in here. We still have 2,000 people in here. Appreciate you guys stopping by and being amazing. And again, I saw a lot of people saying the Leafs for the Cup earlier. I'm not sure about that, but what are your opinion on Troy's Tetra trade? I think it's solid. I think it's pretty decent depth for the Kings. Nothing too fancy. Though I'm definitely surprised that Steve Yzerman didn't get more. So Gio will play with TJ Brody? Probably Drax. I would hopefully see that happen. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. That's obvious. At least I hope. I mean, if Keefe doesn't do that, then I'm gonna be eternally sad. All right, let me just see if there's anything else. Thank you, Nick, as well, for giving me all the details as they come. All right, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Your opinion is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins a bust? I would be dumb if I said that, so no. Kings all the way. I hope the Kings do well in this year's playoffs. They're extremely underrated. I'm not sure if they're, it really depends on who they face, because if it's the Kings versus the Oilers, I feel like that could be a pretty close series. Actually, let me know in the chat, because it's seeming like it's going to be Kings versus the Oilers. Who would you choose to get out of that series, LA or Edmonton? Mujo, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Grab Game. We all got Jonathan coming in and subscribing. Appreciate y'all. We got 675 likes on the stream. Can we get to 700, boys? Appreciate you guys stopping by, and every like that you guys put on the stream helps a ton to get it out there, and we got a ton of likes at the start of the stream, and that's why a lot of new people have come by. So if you are enjoying the breakdowns, if you are enjoying everything, make sure you guys hit the like button and support the stream. Definitely goes a long way. And again, I'm obviously trying to, I mean, the thing is, we've seen like 5 trades in the past 2 hours. So I'm definitely happy that I went live, because we've gotten a lot to talk about. And we still, I'm really just sad, because I expected the Giordano details to happen in the first 30 minutes, but we got some suspense, and I'll take that, I guess. LA Kings. Actually, you know what? Let me make a poll. Why haven't I done that? I'm dumb. I am dumb. Who gets out of the first round matchup? Let me make a poll so we can actually get a pretty good consensus on this. So I'm going to say Edmonton and Los Angeles. So you guys can vote on that poll. Honestly, I feel like that's a series that could go back and forth for me. From what I've seen with the Leafs, I think Lyubushkin has been fine. Pretty much as advertised, physical, has made some good defensive plays. Dermot, this is coming from Eric Engels. Dermot and Hamonic both go for thirds. Joseph, thank you so much for subscribing. We'll be interested to see what happens with Brett Kulak. I think he's slightly better than both players, but we'll see if the market views him that way. If not, good possibility he stays put. Now, again, I think for the Habs, they should probably re-sign Kulak, but I also disagree. I think Kulak is way better than Hamonic, and I would say better than Travis Dermott. But in terms of value, I think Dermott's worth, or I think he's worth Kulak-wise, probably mid-second. And that would probably what I would be looking for, at least. Kulak does not suck. No, stop this. Stop this. That is a sweet Maurice Sider card. But Brett Kulak is good, man. Brett Kulak is good. He's nothing special, but yeah, this is a great example of what Kulak does. I mean, his defensive zone, his defensive acumen is fantastic. Not really special in anything else, but I think the smarts and the IQ he has defensively is so crucial to the Habs' success when he is in this game. I think for any team, I mean, if I'm a team and I get him for a 3rd round pick, that's a steal for me. Like I would say Kulak is literally just the word good. Like he's not special, he's not amazing, he's not perfect, but I think he's a guy. Oh, there we go. Leafs giving us the official confirmation. We've acquired Winnipeg's 3rd round pick selection in the 2022 draft for Vancouver in exchange for Travis Dermott. So there you go. Leafs confirming that they will get Winnipeg's 3rd instead of Vancouver's 3rd, which is the more likely pick to be potentially more low. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. MP, they get so to the 2. Will Phil Kessel be a Ranger by the deadline? I am hoping so. I think Kessel will be a very good fit. I mean, if you're wanting scoring on that second line right wing, I don't think there's many other options that will come as cheaply and as efficiently as Phil Kessel will be. So I would say, yeah, I would say definitely making that move would be a good one for them. What happens to Dermott's money? I would assume there's no salary retention on this deal. I would assume so. Now, again, for Toronto, let me look back. Alex, thank you so much for subscribing, brother. You absolute king. Okay, he might be on Vancouver already on cap friendly. I don't think Dermott makes all that much. Yeah, he makes 1.5 million for the next 2 seasons. So, yeah, that deal likely no retention on it. All of that cap going back to the Canucks. But I think, honestly, I mean, 1.5 for Dermott isn't bad. It's just in the Leafs situation with their extreme cap struggles that it kind of had to be that way. But I think for Vancouver, I mean, even though they will definitely be having their cap struggles in a bit, I feel like Dermott could fit pretty well on that Canucks team. Would you rather use a first than Nyes? I'd rather have Nyes in a first, especially if it's like Toronto's first. I'd definitely rather have Nyes. That's one guy. That is one guy as well, ladies and gentlemen, that I was definitely wrong about. One thing that I think was reported after Nyes was drafted that he had COVID. I'm pretty sure during his draft year, and it made sense because one of the big things I was talking about with Nyes in his draft year was just a lack of pace and not really too much energy from what I was looking for in a player like that. But he's gotten back to like an energy that I was expecting to see from him. And that was a player that I thought it was a fine pick at the time, but that was what I was seeing in his draft year, which wasn't amazing in my opinion. But this year he's been on a completely different level. And obviously the Leafs did their homework in that situation and knew that he had COVID and knew that he would bounce back. So good drafting by them for sure. Skip, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate you coming in here. Appleton for Kravtsov, that would be an interesting one. I don't know how Appleton has really done on the Kraken though this year since his poor start. The third round pick going to the Leafs from Vancouver is from Dermott is originally Winnipeg's pick, like we knew already. So once again, from Pierre LeBrun, apparently we will get the details on the Giordano trade in 7 minutes time. And again, there was apparently an issue that they had to wait until 5 p.m. Eastern for the cap on Mrazek's deal since he was on waivers to officially come. So we will likely see what the Giordano details are in a few minutes time. If you are hyped, get some Gio hype in the chat down below, especially for the Leafs fans in here. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Subscribe if you are new. Good to have you come by. All this work, I doubt the Leafs can get Domi. Yeah, I doubt it either. Ali, 2.2K viewers. Absolutely. We are here. We are here today. And it is amazing. And I appreciate you guys being here. Only on here do I get to get my clout. Ali and Madeline, and I need a Mitts and Chicks shout out. Go on Spotify or wherever you get your playlist, search up Mitts and Chicks. It is the worst podcast I've ever, no, I'm sorry. It is the best podcast I've ever heard. Go subscribe. It'll be worth it for sure. There is your clout, Callie. There is your clout. Now I know Callie, so it's not just a random shout out. I do know Callie. It is actually a good podcast. Don't worry. Not a fan of Gio. I think for the Leafs, I think you guys should be a fan of Gio. I mean, he's going to be a rental for sure. Definitely not going to be extended. But at the same time, I could see Giordano being on that second pair alongside Brody and bringing just great defensive value, bringing a lot of leadership and presence onto the Leafs, which I think is always needed. And I feel like although offensively he's not going to be this juggernaut, he doesn't have to be in Toronto. He brings great stability, great defensive play, especially this year in Seattle. And I feel like with his penalty differential being solid too, I mean, he's pretty well built for this year's playoffs. I think he'll be a great addition for the Leafs, and especially on that top four. You could have gone for Ben Chiarot. Like, let's be honest here, you could have gone for Ben Chiarot. It could be much worse. It could be much worse. What does CBJ get for Domi in a trade? I'd probably say a second. Maybe a fourth on top of that. I think that'd be pretty realistic. The Timothy Meyer group chat thanks you. Absolutely. As they should. All right, so we got probably about 5 minutes until the Giordano details come. And again, if you don't know already, Pierre LeBrun said that the Leafs were waiting until the 5 p.m. Eastern mark for the cap space that they acquired by waiving Mrazek to come so they can make this Giordano trade happen. So that's why we're waiting right now to get this deal done. But we will see it in a little bit. Let me also see on Twitter if it's been leaked already, anything else. And we know now with Dermott being traded to the Kraken or to the Canucks that that he will not be a part of this trade, obviously. Robert, thank you so much for subscribing, brother. Appreciate it. From Stash, Elliotte Friedman said on TNT that the belief is greater than 50% chance Fleury gets traded to the Minnesota Wild. Wow. Let me see this real quick. Oh yeah, as well from Cap Friendly, waiting until after 5 p.m. Eastern to complete the Giordano trade would definitely provide some additional flexibility for the Leafs in terms of creating the space needed to fit him under the cap. It would give them the benefit of saving Clifford and Mrazek's cap space if they clear. So there you go. Some more details on what's going on there with the Giordano trade. We are likely going to see the details in the next few minutes. So again, get some Gio hype if you haven't already. We will see what this trade is looking like soon. Very, very soon. Oh, some more Wyatt Johnston. You love to see that. Yeah, from a Stash, apparently, and again, we'll see if this is actually true. It is just a paraphrasing. Maybe there's a chance this isn't actually real. But Elliotte Friedman said on TNT, greater than 50% chance Fleury gets traded to the Minnesota Wild. So some more antics there before the trade deadline tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Some more. We got 220. I can't even speak right now. 2,200 people right now in this chat. If you guys are excited to see the Giordano trade, if you guys are excited to see the details, make sure you stick in this trade in this live stream. My words are not coming out right, but you know what I mean. Stick in this live stream, subscribe here, and join the breakdowns. Hit that like button if you haven't. We're at 776 right now. Derek with the 2 leaves 2 goalies after Monday. James Reimer and Jack Campbell. You heard it here first. James Reimer and Jack Campbell. It will happen. By the way, cap friendly, how does this work? The cap is calculated daily at 5 p.m. Teams can temporarily exceed the cap between 5 p.m. spans. Toronto can exceed the upper limit after 5 p.m. today. Wait for waivers to clear tomorrow at 2 p.m. Send those players down and be compliant for 5 p.m. tomorrow. So what cap friendly is basically saying is that the Leafs haven't made this trade official because they need that cap space from the waivers this 5 p.m. today. And once they can make that trade official, they can make other moves potentially and be within the cap at tomorrow's 5 p.m. span. So interesting little details there. And again, more confirmation that we're going to get Giordano details soon. Very, very soon. What does Brandon Dillon get the Jets, and what team would trade for him? I think he's probably going to get around. I mean, didn't he get 2 seconds on the offseason? I could probably see him getting just a second this year. What will the Rangers do before the trade deadline? I think like Bill Kessel's a pretty obvious option. I really would like Arturi Lehkonen too if they can sign him long term as well. But I think Phil Kessel is going to be brought on. Stavros, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome. By the way, I don't know why I just remembered this, but this morning I was expecting to, by the way, again, Elliotte Friedman have to wait until after 5 p.m. Eastern to finalize Giordano and Blackwell deals. So there you go. More confirmation that we are about to get the Giordano details. We are 1 minute away, potentially, from getting it done. So make sure you get some hype in the chat. 1 minute hype as well, if you guys can. Grab a Dallas trades for Letty. I would not be happy. I would not be happy. DJ, great work. Grab and missing these live videos. I've been missing them too, man. It's great to have trade deadline time back officially. Ooh, man, did the Leafs move Kerfoot? Maybe. It depends, though, if they get somebody else. Like, if they're going to get Max Domi, then I could see it. Oh, my goodness. M&H with the 28 Canadian. Love your stuff, bro. Enjoy seeing you up on Sportsnet. Thank you so much, M&H. Can we get some hype in the chat for them? 28 Canadian. Absolutely. Way too generous, brother. Thank you so much for the support in the stream. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, M&H. Thank you. Can we get some hype in the chat for them? Absolutely appreciate you big time, brother. All right, so it is now 5 p.m. Eastern. The time is ticking, and we are on the clock. We are on the clock now. Let me know in the comments in the chat right now. What are your final predictions for this Giordano trade? What will we see? Who will be traded? What will the trade package look like? Let me know all your thoughts right now. Kessel to Toronto. Leafs are still paying him $1 million this year as anyways. Yeah, that's true. Brandon, thank you so much for subbing. By the way, if you did subscribe very recently, like today or in the live stream, let me know in the chat. Say I subbed or something, and I'll try to give you a shout out. Does Simmons get traded? I know he was sent down. I don't know if he might get dealt, but I think they want to keep him in that locker room. First round pick involved? Who's saying that? I'd be surprised if there's a first round pick, because all we were hearing about with Kyle Dubas was how there wasn't going to be a first round pick involved. Jake, thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to you. Gamer Crave, good to have you in the Grab Gang, as well as GBK. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a first, though. I don't know if it's, I mean, maybe since Travis Dermott isn't a part of it, perhaps, but I don't think so. But the clock is on. We are about to get the details. Sub from New Brunswick, Lemerson, thank you so much for coming in. Good to see you all the way out there. Lazo Gaming, good to have you in the Grab Gang. Alec Mishek, my boy. McDavid97, Gurpreet. We also have Old School Gamer subscribing. Shout out. Hey, Skip as well. Yeah. We got you, brother. We got you. Kings have placed Mikey Anderson and LTAR. So some more context on the Troy Stetcher deal with both Doughty and Mikey Anderson being out. Makes sense why they go after Stetcher there. So some more news on the LA Kings defensive situation. By the way, let me check where we're at right now before we get into this Giordano trade, subscriber-wise. Right now, we're at 52,462. Are you kidding? Last time I checked, we were at like 52,288 or something. Thank you guys so much for the new subs coming in. We're at 52.5. I might have to make a new mod after this. Appreciate you guys, though. And if you haven't subscribed, we are 38 away from 52.5. Every bit helps, and we'd love to have you in the Grab Gang, so make sure you join us if you haven't already. All right, again, I'm tense right now, boys and girls. I am tense. I want to see this trade go down. Phoenix, thank you so much for subbing. Shout out to you. Dallas, Texas here, new sub. Hey, Jordan. Dallas, Texas as well. Garland. I'm in Garland right now, or I've lived in Garland all my life. I don't know why I just said I'm in Garland. Dallas represent, baby. Let's go. Now trade Peter Mrazek. If the Leafs can trade anything for Peter Mrazek, that'd be a clutch dub. Keith, I sub. Love the live stream. Thank you so much, Keith. That shout out to you. 2 seconds, a third, and a B-level prospect. That would be pretty close, I think. Again, I'm gonna say, actually, you know what? Now that we know that Dermott is gonna be a part of it, let's go through a new potential mock trade. So, with the Leafs, let's look at their pick situation. So they got all their second round picks, first round picks, and they got third round picks in every draft. So I would assume, yeah, with Dermott off the table, I would assume 2 seconds. It might just be like 2 seconds and a third. That might just be what it is. We might just see draft picks, and that could be it, which would not surprise me all too much, since Seattle in some ways wants to go after draft picks specifically. Maybe it's a 2022 second, 2023 the second, and maybe maybe the Jets 2022 third that they just got for Travis Dermott. That would not surprise me. So we might not even see a player exchange, maybe a lower end prospect, but I think 2 seconds and a third is pretty close to what you'd expect, right? It's pretty close to what you'd expect. All right, nothing yet, but we are close. So, oh my, CB again. Coming in with a $30 donation. Sorry if we already covered. Been in bed sick all day, so I just jumped in. What can you tell me about Lindholm? Say he signed a 8-year, $6.5 million extension, but I've only watched the Ducks too much. Personally, for me, I feel like it has potential to be a decent deal. I don't think it's going to be anything more than that. I think for Boston, really, they're just buying those first 2 years of that contract, because I don't think after that third year, they're going to be really all that competitive anymore. But I could definitely see with that Lindholm deal, it being solid. I think right now he's probably worth about 4.5, maybe 5. But I think in Anaheim these past couple of years, he's been a little bit overwhelmed with his time on ice. And I think in Boston, it's a better decor for sure. He has another stud like Charlie McAvoy alongside him. I think it could work out very well for him. I don't think it's going to be amazing, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as some people say. What do you think Dallas does? I hope honestly they go up for some more under the radar guys. I don't think they need to go after, I mean, at this point, like Tyler Bertuzzi or anything, but I do think they could go after some smaller guys. I really like Arturi Lehkonen on this team long term. Andrew, thank you so much for subbing, as well as Freddie Power. What a name. Can we get some Freddie Power hype? Unbelievable. What a legend. What a great name. Let me see. Anything else? All right. I haven't seen anything else. on the Giordano package. But again, I predicted this to be the case an hour ago, but I feel like once the Giordano package happens and it breaks, it's going to be everything about the trade. Kizlu, thank you so much for subbing. Good to have you in the Grab Gang. We got 2,400 people in this chat. Appreciate you guys coming in. I almost bit my lip. Almost. I saved myself from so much hurt. But appreciate you guys coming in. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We're still waiting for the Giordano details, but I feel like it's bound to come in the next few minutes. It's bound to come. Oh, I told you. What did I tell you? Giordano and Blackwell go into Toronto. Elliotte, Friedman with the bomb. The Freege. 2 second rounders are the highest picks in return to Seattle. What did I tell you? Oh man, there we go. 2 second rounders. I thought that was going to be the case, and we do see it here. The highest picks. So likely still more on top of this deal, but 2 second rounders will be the case for this Giordano and Blackwell trade. The two biggest parts or pieces going back to Seattle. So likely 2022 second and a 2023 second. But there you go. I would expect, again, like we talked about, 2 seconds and a 3rd round pick, the Jets one that they got in the Travis Dermott deal, to be a part of this trade. So if it is 2 second rounders in 2022 and 2023 and a 3rd rounder this year, let me know in the chat down below. Put a 1 if the Leafs win this trade and a 2 in the chat if the Kraken win this trade. Let me know your thoughts, because personally, getting both Giordano and Blackwell for that price is not too bad. That is not too bad. That is not too bad. I think Giordano is going to fit well as on that top 4. Blackwell is going to be a perfect 4th line player, potentially 4th line center for the Leafs as well. I think that's a great deal for Toronto. Great deal for Kyle Dubas. He needed to make this one as well with all the other Atlantic teams stacking up. This Atlantic division is going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And the Leafs just continue to prove why. Giordano and Blackwell, 2 solid pieces, 2 players that will play well in the playoffs, absolutely. But again, 2 second rounders are the highest picks in return, probably still something else on top of that. But I think Giordano, I think it's worth it. I mean, if it was just Giordano and even more picks on top of this, I could see why. But getting Blackwell, I think, is an underrated ad, especially with what his cap hit is. If it's 2 seconds and a 3rd, I think that is a W for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that is a W for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I think it's also okay for the Kraken. They weren't likely going to get a 1st round pick, but they get 2 second rounders. They add up in the top 60 of the next couple of drafts. And for them at this point, that's that direction they might as well go in. So I think personally, this is good for both teams. I like this trade for both teams. I would say it's a W for the Leafs and just a decent W for the Kraken. I'll give it like a 7.5 for the Leafs and like a 6.5 for the Kraken. But that's what we're looking at right now. And again, I told you guys, Matthew Nice was not going to be part of this trade. Not going to be part of this trade. And again, there still could be more to this, but 2 second rounders are the main parts of this Giordano trade. Holy crap, man. NHL GMs decided just a week ago to just completely trade everybody. Everybody. And we get one of the bigger deals that we were likely going to get at this deadline a day before the deadline comes. Wow, man. Wow. What a trade for the Leafs. And that's, I mean, I expected Giordano to go to the Leafs and made that as my prediction and my top 20 trade targets video. Oh, Kevin Weeks with some more details. Kevin Weeks with some more details. The Kraken are trading Captain Mark Giordano and Colin Blackwell to the Leafs for 2 second round picks and a 3rd round pick. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said it was going to be 2 seconds and a 3rd, and whoop-doo, there we go. Now, I'd expect, again, that Winnipeg pick that they got in the Travis Dermott deal to be a part of this and to be that 3rd round pick, and likely the seconds in 2022 and 2023 exchanged. So we were right on the money, boys and girls. We were right on the money. And again, if you guys have enjoyed the reactions and everything, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like button right now. We're at 835 likes. If we can get to 1,000 likes, that would be insane. Ace Foundation, thank you so much for subscribing. If we can get to 1,000 likes, that would be nuts. And if you guys have enjoyed the stream, I appreciate that a ton. We could get some more details on what years these picks are, but we pretty much know what it's going to be. We pretty much know what it's going to be. 2 second round picks and a 3rd round pick. That's me, man. That's a W for Kyle Dubas. That's a Kyle Dubas W. I gotta say it. I mean, I feel like with Giordano and Blackwell, those are 2 playoff-ready players. I feel like that's going to be a really defining trade for them. Even if they lose in the 1st round, this is the year that they've already said they're going for it. You might as well try and compete, and I think they get a lot more competitive with this deal. Logan with the 2. What do you think the Canes may go for a trade out? Andy Strickland said earlier they were looking for a forward recently. I could see Arturi Lehkonen being the guy for them. Thank you, Evan. I mean, we were kind of going over all what the trade could look like together. So you guys also suggested a trade similar to that as well. So would not have done it without you. But yeah, honestly, I think that's a Kyle Dubas W. I think that is a Kyle Dubas W. Pretty good trade for the Leafs, and let me know in the chat. Once again, 1 for Toronto and 2 for the Kraken. Who do you see winning this trade? I would go 1. I would go 1. I would go 1. I just feel like right now, with what the Leafs needed, a top 4 D-man and a solid depth player, that's what you get exactly in this deal. And we knew that Dermott was going to get dealt. And to only give up that and to be able to give up these picks, I think that's good for Toronto. I think that, and still for Seattle, there is a lot of value here. So I think in both ways, this was a solid hockey deal. Solid hockey deal all around. Congratulations to both teams. Hopefully it works out for both. and we'll see what happens. Let me know with this trade as well, where you guys see the Leafs finishing in the playoffs this year. Because it definitely depends on who they play. Because for me, if it's Florida versus Toronto, I think it goes 7 games either way. I think both of those teams, with this just the awful vibes they have in the first round recently, they might have some trouble against each other right to the very end. If it's Tampa, I still think Tampa wins that series decently, not super easily, but pretty easily. Maybe in 6 games. I think for the Bruins, the Leafs also might push the Bruins to 7 games, but it'll be interesting, especially with the Cards right now. If I was Toronto, though, I'd still probably rather play Florida than Tampa, just with the experience that Tampa has, and now adding Brandon Hagel, who's going to be so hard to play against. But they put themselves in the conversation way more with this trade, and that's really what matters, to give themselves a way better chance. We got Ali Schreibman in the chat right now. Grab, would you rather give up? Who would you give up in exchange for Timo Meier? I mean, I'm kind of willing to get, I know this might be crazy, but I'm kind of willing to give up my 2022 7th round pick, maybe 6th, possibly. Timo Meier to Avalanche mock trade. No. No, I don't want to imagine it. I do not want to imagine it, because that's just, I would rather die. I'd rather die because that's basically confirming an Avalanche Cup win, and I cannot have it. Oh, Alexander Radulov goal, baby. Bringing that value back up. Let's go. I mean, who needs Timo Meier when you have Alexander Radulov? He's been so good this season, Colorado. Please trade for him. Please give us your 2nd round pick. It's a steal. Anyways, appreciate you guys coming in, though. We got 2,100 still in here. Let me know your thoughts on the Giordano trade if you haven't already. Oh, some more details here from Frank Cervelli, confirming the Leafs forever are sending 2 2nd-round picks and a 3rd in exchange for Giordano and Blackwell. The Kraken retained 50% on Giordano, whose preference was to go home to play for Toronto. There you go. Giordano wanted to go to the Leafs. That's a big time. That's a big detail there. And even though we kind of got the feeling that it would be that way, we get confirmation here that from Frank Cervelli that Giordano wanted to go to the Leafs, and we see this trade happen. So pretty big W for Giordano going to the team he wanted to go to, and pretty solid trade for both teams. We'll still obviously wait. I mean, I could see that 3rd round pick being in 2023 instead of 2022, but it doesn't really matter that much. 50% retained on Giordano, so that's basically needed at this point for the Leafs. He makes $6.7 million, so that'll put him around 3.35. And for this Leafs team, that would put them right against actually, wait, deadline cap $6 million. I mean, that's with Mrazek brought down Simmons and Clifford, obviously. But $6 million, I mean, that would put Giordano around 3.35. So you'd still have a decent amount of cap to work with. Nothing amazing, but 2.5, you could do something with that. So maybe there's more moves on top of this. I mean, one thing I could see is if the Leafs do want to trade their 1st round pick. I know Rickard Rakell without salary retention only makes 3.7. If you retain some salary on that contract, put it down to 1.35, and you maybe trade maybe an overpay a little bit for that. I mean, that would be a player, if you could add cap wise, I think could work. Chris, thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate it. We got 7 likes to go as well, everyone, until 900. Oh, yeah, it wasn't Altera. Never mind. Completely forgot about that. Sorry. Completely forgot about that. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yep, Seattle retaining 50% on Giordano's contract. So there we go. There we go. Those are pretty much the final details. We might get some more trades throughout this stream, but those are the final details on the Giordano trade. He's going to play in that top 4, likely with TJ Brody, or at least I want that to happen. That would be perfect. But we'll see. I haven't seen much Habs news, unfortunately, Alexander. They've been really quiet recently, which kind of scares me because I'd really like an Arturi looking in trade. I really think they can get a lot for him right now, but we'll see. I feel like that's really the big guy they'd trade right now. Grab, do you think Timo Meier would be worth both Drysdale and McDavid? I mean, obviously. Ali, why are we asking these type of questions? I don't know. Why are we asking these questions? This is easy. Thoughts on polishing the shield? Heidi is a genius. Timo Meier as a rental to the Avs, and then you change your playoff predictions. If Timo Meier goes to the Avs, they're losing in the 1st round. I'm sorry. Grab, do you think Timo Meier? Yes. Yes. Have fun and hi. What's going on? Have fun. Go Jets. Go Moose. Go. Go Jets. Go. Go Moose. Go. Florida is in great shape. I'd agree on that, sir. I feel like if they add one more defenseman too. Hey, this is for Madeline. With that Alexander Radulov goal, Marian Studenic has recorded his first point as a Dallas Star. Look at that stud. You love to see that. You love to see that. First of 1,000, by the way, with Dallas. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, Hunter, of course I remember you, man. You've been here for like 2 years. Bolts will sweep the Leafs. I don't know if they'd sweep the Leafs. I feel like they'd win in probably at most 6, though. What's the return on potential to bring at trade grab? You probably have to trade your entire team. For most teams in the NHL right now, it's a first-round pick, top prospect, top defensive prospect at least, a couple second-rounders. Yeah, for Chicago to actually trade DeBrincat, I don't see it happening really. Maybe in the off season, but I think DeBrincat. It might be a hot take, but I think DeBrincat gets more than Eichel. I think he might get the biggest trade package of any player. I don't know. It might actually depend on what is how long he's locked up though. Yeah, he's only locked up for 2 years, but he has an RFA afterwards. So I feel like if he was locked up for like a long time, he'd get like insane amounts. But since he's only 2 years, I could see maybe it being a little bit lesser than that. But holy cow. Ben, thank you so much for subbing as well. And if you haven't subscribed already, people, make sure you do so. We do streams like this all the time, and we'd love to have you come around. If you enjoyed the breakdowns, enjoyed all the reactions and everything, it goes a long way. And make sure that like button, we're at 929 right now. If you haven't liked, make sure you do so. We're so close. If we can get to 1,000 in this live stream, that would be insane. I don't even know how many live streams we've done that have gotten to 1,000 likes. So that would put us top tier. Keith, how many jerseys do you have? I want to say 27. Let me actually see which teams I'm missing right now, because I know I don't have Chicago. I don't have Carolina. I have all of the Atlantic Division teams. All the Metro. Yeah, I don't have Chicago. I don't have Chicago. I don't have Carolina. I just got my Calgary jersey, so that's good to go. And I don't have San Jose. So, well, actually, I have a San Jose Sharks sweatshirts. Like, it's a little hoodie, but I don't have a jersey for them. But the only teams I don't have any, like, actual wearing clothing for are the Canes and the Blackhawks. I have a Leafs jersey on the way, which was supposed to come like 3 days ago, but I don't think it's been delivered yet. And I don't know when that's ever going to come. So we might as well kiss that one goodbye for right now. When is the Giroux return? Let me get that for you right now. So it'll be 2 second-round picks and a 3rd-round pick for Mark Giordano and COLIN Blackwell. So there you go. What's the Toronto jersey you have? I ordered just a blank Adidas jersey, and I think it was like $60. If I am going to get anybody on it, though, it'll definitely be Matthews. Are the Leafs done tomorrow, or do you expect them to make more moves? I think they will make more moves at them. I mean, the Muzz and LTR definitely makes that cap space a little bit wonky, but I can see them going for a couple of depth players. Get a Canes jersey right now. I did actually see an Adidas one for like $30, but I haven't bought it yet. Who's getting moved tomorrow? A lot of players. Oilers, man. A lot of players. I mean, even the good thing is, I think personally, even though we've seen a lot of moves over the past few days, there's a lot of quantity at this year's trade deadline, which obviously means there aren't going to be like, oh, McDavid is going to be traded this year, but there's a lot of just good players that are still available. You got Rickard Rakell, Kopp, Stastny, Chychrun, you got Bertuzzi, you got, I mean, I'm blanking on a lot of names right now. Phil Kessel, you got a lot of options, especially on the forward side of things. So although some of the bigger guys have been traded, like Giordano, I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury is still available. He could likely be traded to Minnesota pretty soon. There's still a lot of quantity and a lot of different names that I think are going to make trade deadline day really interesting. I'm going to try and watch the Silver Knights on their first game in DLC. By the way, that was a stupid name, Henderson. Giordano will re-sign with the Leafs, so I think it's a decent deal. Really, David? I don't know. Do you guys think Giordano would re-sign? I don't know if the Leafs would have enough cap for him, unless they maybe move out Muzzin. Rad score, trade him now. Value has never been higher. Exactly, Jordan. We need to trade him while he's hot. While he's got 1 point in like 9 games or something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Actually, this is my San Jose like hoodie thing. It's like a hoodie. It's not really a jersey. It's a hoodie. I don't know. I don't count it as a jersey because I know there's people that would blame me for that, but still. I just got my signed Kane to Brinket jerseys grab. They're so nice. Nice. No, Roy. That's that. I mean, Chicago jerseys, Adidas wise, are pretty good as well. Pretty good as well. Okay, so we get some details on what the years are here. Oh, okay. Second round pick in 2022, second round pick in 2023, and the third rounder, 2024. This is even more of a dub for the Leafs, man. This is even more of a dub for the Leafs. I thought it would have been a third this year or next, but 2024 third rounder. The Kraken are definitely looking ahead long term. Is it just me? Why have there been so many picks acquired from 2024 out of the blue? I mean, the first round pick in the Giroux trade was 2024, for goodness sakes. Now, that wasn't really the choice of the Flyers, but still, a lot of 2024 picks have been exchanged recently. Hey, Graf, can you see Even Bear as a potential option for Vancouver as a deep partner for Hughes? Maybe. That'd be interesting. Graf's best friend, Darren Dreger? Absolutely. Matthew straight for Panarin and a pick? What? No way. Somebody just asked when my next mock trade is going to come. Probably a couple days after the deadline. Can the Lightning get Tyler Mott for Cal Foot? I don't know what Cal Foot's value is right now. Because I know he's played with Tampa a decent bit this year, but like not that many minutes, not that much of an opportunity. Maybe. I mean, he is still 23. Maybe if the Canucks really want him though, like that's the big distinction. Seattle retaining 50% on Giordano's cap hit and salary. Leafs were able to get this done without spending a first-round pick, which was important to Kyle Dubas. So there you go. Some more details on this. We get the third-round pick in 2024, and more confirmation the Leafs will not want to be trading their first-round picks. Hey, Grab, you got to think Calgary wins the deadline purely for getting business done before all these ridiculous prices. I mean, yeah, that Tyler Toffoli deal is looking amazing right now. Not even just with how he's played, but just that price as well, Tony. Absolutely agreed. 2024, from what I can tell right now, is looking decent. It's not looking amazing. It's kind of looking like 2022, where there's some good players, but nothing. I mean, 2023 is looking like one of the best drafts of all time. So it's kind of like you kind of compare the drafts, and it makes it look a little bit weaker in comparison. It's 2023, man. I mean, the thing is, whenever you mention 2023, everybody's like Mitch Cobb and Bedard. The thing is, though, those guys are generational talents. But after that, you have like 10 absolutely elite players. Like we're talking Brendan Yeager, we're talking Dalibor Dvorsky. There is so much talent outside of those two guys. And it's sad because when you think about 2023, you think about those two guys, Mitch Cobb and Bedard. But outside of it, man, there's so much. Like if you get a top 10 pick in the draft, you are still very well off. You are still very well off. Yeah, I did see the Troy Stecher deal. Honestly, pretty solid for the Kings, I think. Hey, grab Timo Meier. I don't know about that. Yeah, this draft is decently deep. I think second round wise, there could be some pretty good draft picks, honestly. Yeah, SB draft rankings. Well, a new one for 2022 is probably going to come out a couple days after the deadline. Man, isn't it crazy that the deadline is tomorrow? Like, it kind of snuck up on me this year. I mean, we've seen a lot of trades happening over the past week, so I guess kind of not. But it feels so weird. Like, this season has gone by really quickly. I think it's just because we haven't seen as many COVID scares and things throughout the season, which is always a blessing. But yeah, it's thankfully been pretty smooth sailing over the last few months. What's going on with Marner? He's a free agent this season. Corey, are you sure? He's locked up to the next 4 years, my man. He's locked up to the next 4 years. Who are the Pens going to get? I sure hope it's Connor Garland. That would be such a great addition for them. The thing is, though, like, I'm really happy with the amount of buyers that are really trying to go for it. Like, I mean, the Atlantic Division is a great example. But there are so many buyers right now that are just, I mean, the thing is, if we don't see a Stanley Cup winner out of the Atlantic this year, then it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to be pretty rough for them. Yeah, the top 4 teams in the Atlantic have given us most of these trades, not even counting the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm pretty happy for them. Krause to the Leafs would be sick. Old Kingston player. Kid's a good player. I agree on that. Though I think recently it was reported that the Coyotes weren't looking to shop him. Mike, thank you so much for subbing. Shout out to you. By the way, everyone, we are 19 likes away from 1,000. 19 likes away from 1,000. So if you haven't already hit that like button and supported the stream, make sure you do so if you're enjoying today. I see the Oilers trading up for an okay goalie and bringing up Skinner. That could definitely happen. Are the Jets buying or selling? I would say selling on Winnipeg's side. I need to get my Calgary jersey. Let's put on my Calgary jersey. I got this Butte this week. An absolutely amazing jersey. I might be wearing it in tomorrow's Sportsnet stream. By the way, if you don't know already, we'll be streaming on Sportsnet YouTube channel tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern for the trade deadline, so you will not want to miss it. Ugh. Let's put on the Flames jersey. Oh, we got 1,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Can we get some 1K? It was a jump scare. I just looked over and we were at 1,000 likes. 1,037. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate you a lot. Can we get some 1K hype in the chat? Thank you guys so much, and especially all the new subscribers coming in. You guys have been amazing. We just hit 52,500. We're at 52,528, which is incredible. I mean, we started the day out with like 52,205 or something. So I appreciate all like the 300 new subscribers coming in. Thank you guys so much. Give yourselves a friggin' pat on the back like you've never done before. Love y'all. Deltaz, hello. Someone should trade all their picks for Nick Schmaltz, best player ever, instant Stanley Cup. I mean, it feels like with the Coyotes, they're probably going to just keep, both Keller and Schmaltz long-term and kind of rebuild along those guys, which I think is fair. Hey, Greg, I want to know your opinion on what the Hawks will do with this offseason. They're going to be a weird team. I could see them not going completely in the cell, but they had some conversations with Patrick Kane. Obviously, DeBrincat could be there as well. But personally, for me, if I was Chicago, I'd build around DeBrincat and almost sell the entire rest of the team at this point. Here's the question. If you want to try a grab on the topic of captains being traded, Giroux and Gio, when was the last trade where teams traded captain for captain? Ooh, I'm trying to, I was about to say, oh, dang, I have it on the tip of my tongue, or at least the idea on the tip of my tongue. No, McDonough deal was all prospects for the Rangers. That couldn't have been the case. That's a hard one. When was the last trade that two captains? I mean, would it have been, I'm trying to think back like to early 2010s. Would it have been like, the only one I can kind of think of right now is like St. Louis and his deal with the Rangers. Who did they send back to the, I'm completely blanking right now. That's like the only thing. Callahan for St. Louis. Right, exactly. That's like the only one I can think of right now. Was it Callahan at St. Louis? I was trying to think about St. Louis, and I was blanking on who they sent back. If it was, though, I would not be surprised. Yeah, St. Louis and Callahan. No, I don't think Subban was the captain of Montreal, or else that would have been. That's what it would have been. Maybe do another prospect pool ranking after the deadline. That's also likely to come, Alexander, for sure. I remember I did one last year after the deadline, and it was a lot of fun. Since we've already seen some pretty good prospects traded so far. Any news on the Capitals? No, from what I've seen. Kurt, what's going on? Good to see you. And I appreciate all 1,500 of you guys stopping by. You guys have been awesome and so fun to chat with today. I was not expecting a Giordano trade, though. Not today. I was expecting it tomorrow. The Leafs and Kraken get it done. Kraken have acquired 6 picks via trades this deadline so far. They now have 10 picks in this year's draft and own 4 of the top 64 selections in each of the next 2 drafts. So there you go. So at least the Kraken are doing something now. At least we kind of know they're going in a rebuilding direction. This Chychrun best destination argument I've heard was Boston, but now with Lindholm, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I think Lindholm takes him out of it. To me, it's LA. I think that's the best destination for sure. I feel like they're a team that wants to compete, but also still wants to have some long-term objectives, and Chychrun is exactly like that. He'd definitely stay in LA. They got a great team up and coming, and you can live in Los Angeles and play hockey, so it's a no-brainer. So I think for me personally, if I was LA, that's the type of, I mean, they have the assets too to make that deal happen. So I would say the Kings are the most likely team for that. Let me also put this down so you guys can actually see the names. There we go. There we go. Oilers make the next trade. Actually, let me know in the chat down below what trade you guys see happening next, because there was some rumors that the Canes were going to trade for somebody forward-wise. Patrick, thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to you, big man. Maple Leafs tweeted. Did they make the tweet official or the trade official? They did. There we go. So we officially get the Mark Giordano and Colin Blackwell trade from the Seattle Kraken and Leafs, official by the Leafs account. Again, verified and everything. So there we go. There we go. Second round selection in 2022, second round selection in 2023, and a third rounder in 2024. Great deal there by the Leafs, man. Great deal there by the Leafs. And here's the thing. There was always the potential for the Leafs to lose in the first round. But and here's the thing for me. For me, the best situation the Leafs could have done with themselves is buy as much as possible. Because the thing is, going into this year, they put clear expectations up that if this wasn't the year they made some playoff success happen, then a lot of the team would be different. And obviously for them, they can't predict every team like Florida and Boston and Tampa to be as good as they have been. They probably expected them to be close, but you're in a tough division. You're in a tough situation. The best you can do is to buy, especially with all of the other teams loading up. And to me, it was the only option, really. I mean, for Kyle Dubas especially, he's gone if the Leafs lose in the first round. And I expect them to lose in the first round. But at least you can say that he tried, and he makes a big acquisition with a top 4 D-man. He makes a pretty solid depth trade getting Colin Blackwell. This is a good trade for them, a great addition. And even though it might not work out, you at least give yourself a fighting chance. And I think that's the biggest thing here. Nick Paul could be another guy. I can actually see Nick Paul being a Leaf, honestly, if this ends and Leafs actually want to make a trade. Because I'm pretty sure he's a lower cap hit. Yeah, 1.3 million. And with the Leafs, I feel like they'd be able to keep him on and not really having to trade anybody else. He could be another fourth liner alongside Blackwell and just make that fourth line especially extremely hard to play against. I can actually see that. At least at the Sens and the Leafs want to make a deal, which who knows with Eugene Melnyk. But I actually do think that's a pretty good fit. Yeah, with Paul in Toronto. Leafs still on a flower trade after they put Mrazek on waivers. No, Rick. At this point, Elliotte Friedman confirmed that if anybody's going to trade for Friedman, or not for Friedman, for Fleury, it's likely going to be Minnesota. He said 50% chance on that happening. I haven't really heard much on Columbus's side. I know Max Domi is going to be an option, but Jesse. Oh my goodness, Jesse with a 69.99 Canadian. Absolutely nice. Did I just spit up mucus? Anyways, thank you so much for the 70. Appreciate you so much, Jesse. Can we get some Jesse, the biggest hype you've ever gotten for anybody? Some Jesse hype. The King is back. Thank you so much, brother, for the 70. The Oilers need to get a proper bottom line defenseman. I'm tired of underwhelming seasons. Exactly. And that's one thing that we've heard them targeting. I could see it being Justin Braun. I could see it being Carson Soucy. I'm pretty sure it was the report. The report was that the Oilers were looking at left shot defenseman. Is Braun a left shot? He's a right shot. So maybe it's not Justin Braun. Maybe, I mean, I know Soucy's a left shot, so maybe that is more intriguing for them. But yeah, it definitely feels like the Oilers will be making some move on defense, which is definitely warranted. But thank you so much, Jesse, for the 70. Appreciate you so much supporting the streams all throughout the past years. It's been incredible. So if you haven't gotten some Jesse hype, give him the hype he deserves. Unreal. Nick Paul would be a great ad for a contending team. Great defensive forward. Doesn't make a mistake in the D zone often. Exactly. I agree on that. Though I don't really love his play driving. I think his finishing is pretty solid. And again, his defensive zone plays good as well. Oh, man. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to see any more trades, but if they do happen, we'll be the first to know, obviously. You're a star, Jesse. First liner for sure. Agreed. Will the Leafs make another deal? I think it's possible, but I think this is definitely the biggest one they'll make. No Fleury. I could see them getting another fourth liner, like a Nick Paul, like we mentioned. But yeah, I think besides this deal, I don't think there's going to be much bigger ones for them to make. but it's a huge one. It is a huge one. And I appreciate you guys all being here to witness it with me. It's been insane today, the deals we've seen. So make sure you subscribe, hit that like button if you haven't. And well, we could potentially have more streams like this in the future. Let me see if there's anything else here. Okay, nothing. Yeah. Jenna with the 5. Thank you so much. Coming in. Jenna's also a longtime viewer, longtime donator. Thank you so much once again, Jenna, for the 5. Appreciate you. And thank you for supporting this stream in a big way. And if you don't know already, donating wise, I mean, I don't really make that much ad revenue on streams compared to videos. So the donations go a huge way in making these streams even more likely to happen, I guess. Would you see Columbus trading Line for pieces like Natchez, Ryan Suzuki, and 2 second-round picks? I don't know about that. I mean, Line is a guy that I think not reasonably, but recently, that's the word I was trying to go for. Recently has been rumored to likely re-sign in Columbus. CB with the $50. Are you kidding me? And Jesse with the 3 as well, right after with the 1-up. CB with the 50. Jesse hype, absolutely. Can we get some more Jesse hype and some CB hype? I mean, CB, from the day he's come onto these streams, has confirmed to us that he is the nicest. He is the nicest. Appreciate that so much, CB. Legend tier alongside Jesse. Can we get some big hype for them? Oh my god, $50? That's not even just, I don't even know what's going on right now. I don't even know what's going on right now, but thank you guys so much for coming in and being legends as always. As always. Somebody said Quadrelli said that the Canucks are not done. Let me see if that's the case. Source, don't get the sense the Canucks are done yet. Ho, ho, ho. Interesting. Now, I do think that'll probably be Luke Shen, right? Like, we all agree that it'll likely be Luke Shen. I mean, we could see, it's probably not, I feel like if we're going to see a Brock Besser or Garland trade, it's probably going to be tomorrow. But maybe Luke Shen is also. Jesse with the 28. What is what? What? Oh. Like, Larry, are you seeing this right now, Larry? Are you seeing this right now? Are you kidding? Unbelievable. Thank you so much for the 28. Dono War. I mean, sure, why not? We've already seen everything else in this stream. Why not? Oh, Mott could also be that as well, Charms. Actually, let me pull up the last dono. So I can actually give some more respect to the donators. I need to update that sub count for sure. Travis, thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to you. Last donator is Jesse. Hey, Jesse. Whoa. What an amazing show. They don't make them like they used to. Anyways. Actually, let me know in the chat down below. If the Canucks make another move today, who will it be? Will it be a Besser Garland, or will it be like a Luke Shen or a Tyler Mott or somebody else? Maybe Yaroslav Halak decides to waive his no move clause out of nowhere. Let me know what are we thinking. I'm gonna say actually Tyler Mott makes a lot of sense. CB with the 30. What? Is this an actual war? Like, is this an actual war happening right now? Is this an actual war happening right now? Jesse, then CB, then Jesse, then CB. Thank you so much for the 30, CB. The absolute nicest. If we have to. Legend tiers, okay? I know the camera isn't zooming into me right now for some reason, but legend tiers. Legend tiers. Not tears as in crying them, but legend tears. Legend tears. The nicest has struck in again. The nicest person alive. Jesse. What is going on? What is going on? Jesse with a 28. This is just CB and Jesse firing blows at each other right now. Like, what am I supposed to? I mean, now the last donor is Jesse. Hey, and Jeff, thank you so much for the membership. Appreciated. Best GM in the league. Membership for 6 months. Let's get some Jesse, and CB hype, boys and girls. Appreciate it. I would say the best GM right now is probably it's close. I would say Steve Yzerman is still number one for me, but Joe Sakic is up there. I think those are the top two. I think those are the No way. No way. Save him the 100. Get some. I'm okay. I mean, I'll upgrade from McDonald's to Whataburger if you're gonna go this serious. Okay, I'll upgrade. For sure. For sure. Thank you for the 100 donations, CV, you legend. Oh my. Jesse, stop it. Stop it. Whatever you guys are. No. Stop this right now. Stop this right now. Just with the 70, make it a steak dinner. I'll make it a steak dinner from Whataburger at this rate, bro. And then James with the 5. Don't see the next moving Shen. He plays well with Quinn, better than Hamonic did, and adds toughness and can protect Quinn. That's true as well, James. That's true as well. Oh, can we get some James hype, some Jesse hype, and CB hype? What's going on? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude. I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Like this is one of the craziest streams of all time. Like, we've had some crazy streams, but this is up there. This is up there. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much again. Unbelievable stream right now for the 1200 watching this war going on. I appreciate you. Joe, thank you so much for subscribing. Alexi, what's going on? Oh my gosh. Oh. What's going on? Squid Games, thank you so much for subscribing. Anyone watch No Way Home? Yeah, I think a few people have. Oh, Ruby! There we go. Another big W. I don't even know. The Kraken have a boatload of draft picks over the next 3 drafts, 30 total. And they also have not traded away a single draft pick of their own in any of the coming 3 drafts. So pretty good work there, at least for the Kraken. Oh, rare W. I gotta give him credit. Rare W. Need to buy a solid drink, Rick? Absolutely. Whoever buys an 8-minute house first wins. Thankfully, I'm in Texas, so it's not that crazy, but appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. Diana, what's going on? Hello. Who do you think the Panthers end up replacing Ekblad with after putting him on a long-term injury reserve? I mean, I feel like that was why we saw the Hague deal. Was because of Ekblad going out until the end of the season, but I could also see maybe them making a separate move. I don't know. I feel like with the Panthers, they have a lot of options with that LTIR space they now have. But can we get some more W's in the chat, everybody? Oh, for Jesse, CB, James. Oh, I can't. My brain cannot process what's going on right now. Oh man. Oh, Auston, the 2 thoughts on the Batman, loved it. Now, I don't think it's better than The Dark Knight, but the cinematography, I think the way they portrayed I know a lot of people didn't like that that Bruce Wayne was basically the same character as Batman was, but I actually thought it was a pretty good decision, especially since with Pattinson being there, I think it works better. But I think honestly what they're going to do is they're going to have Pattinson be the playboy and the philanthropist and everything in the other movies, and like the 2 other ones are going to make to bring some character growth, to make him a little more custom, because he's only like 2 years into being the Batman, and there's a lot more that comes into that. So they're probably going to explore that at some point. I love the Riddler. I thought he was extremely underrated. I loved his freak out scenes as well. But the cinematography, the sound design was incredible. I loved it so much. I like No Way Home a lot more because of the not a lot more, but I like No Way Home a lot because of the fan service. But the Batman is just a good standalone movie. Like, to me, there's a lot more replay value there than with No Way Home, because I could just watch like the Toby, Andrew, and Tom scenes, and that's most of the enjoyment that comes from it. Where are you ranking Jarmo Kekalainen to other GMs? By the way, as well, thank you so much for the one, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Shout out to you, big man. I would say Kekalainen is probably like, I would say he's top 15. I want to say he's elite, but I'd say he's pretty good. I thought he had a great offseason last year. Yeah, 2-0 stars, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Check cap friendly. Sure thing. Sure thing. After acquiring Giordano, 50% salary retention, and Blackwell, the Leafs have $1.9 million in usable cap space remaining in their LTI salary pool with a full 23-man roster. They can add another $2.125 million if Clifford and Mrazek clear and are signed. So that's actually pretty interesting. If we are to see a deal, it would have to come within that cap range. So there is still some options, though, of $2.1 million. Jeff with the 5. Have a dessert also, buddy. Absolutely. I mean, now that you mention it, some cinnamon rolls look pretty good right now. Might as well. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the 5, though. Can we get some hype for Jeff and all the donors today, but especially Jeff? Appreciate you, man, for the membership for all these months and the donation as well. What do you think the Rangers trade for if they make another trade? I think it's Phil Kessel. I have a feeling inside my bones, John. It's got to be Phil Kessel. Hey, Greg, can we make you send the sentence GM? We need change big time. I mean, if they want to hire me for anything, I'd be happy to do that as well. I mean, I'll take the job. Don't get me wrong. But I also, that's like one thing that I think people like to fall into the trap of. Like, I don't want to say that, like, I know a lot of people like to say they're smarter than NHL GMs. In some ways, maybe, but I don't want to be overconfident or say like, oh yeah, I could do a better job than every GM in the league when that's not the case. Like, I can barely get past high school math. Like that's if that's the case, I don't know how I'll be able to manage the cap. I'll need an assistant for that for sure. But I appreciate that. On paper, just looking at the players, I can do a pretty good job, I think. I think you got to update the sub count next and sub goal. That is true. That is very true. I need to see where we're at right now. We're 52,553 subs. Thank you guys so much for the new subscribers coming in. Love you guys. Let me change that. We have 52,553. Next sub goal is 52.6. All right. Oh my goodness. What? Oh, never mind. I saw a Jeff donation and I thought it was another one. Lecking into the Canucks. That would be interesting. By the way, we've been live for 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours. That's the commitment, baby. That's the commitment. I'm pretty sure Burke is the president. Yeah. Just happened. Lecking into the Canucks. Who's saying that? Wait a second. Who's saying that? Are you guys seeing that anywhere? Let me know. Because if you are, that would be interesting. But probably just speculation for now. Leafs are going to acquire Connor Garland using their first and Nick Robertson with 50% salary retained. That would be pretty wild, Derek. I mean, at that point, every single team in the Atlantic is going for it. Eliminator Rangers are going to be frontrunners for Nick Paul. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. And I'm conflicted because I would want him to probably be re-signed for a while. But yeah, I could see that for sure. And probably on that, maybe they add him on that fourth line. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I feel like for the Rangers, they already have a lot of guys like that. Maybe not as good as Nick Paul does it, but guys like it. Like I don't think Greg McKegg is that far off from Nick Paul in terms of what they bring, really. I'm hoping for DeBrusk for Kerfoot. So that would be interesting. Though you do take away the team he's the best against. So at that point, who can he score goals against if it's not the Leafs? Tyler, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Grab Gang. Good to have you, brother. As a Leafs fan, I sort of wonder how the lines will look now. I mean, it'll be interesting, Chris. I mean, I think they'll likely go Brody and Giordano in that second pair. But I do expect Blackwell to be the fourth line center. I mean, we can look at the Leafs again because right now they have Kerfoot as their fourth line center. But I'd expect Kerfoot to now be moved off center and onto the wing. Because I think like Blackwell can fit that spot pretty perfectly. You could probably put Kerfoot on the third line now and and not have him on that fourth line C spot. Maybe you bring down Engvall there instead. Maybe you have the fourth line as Engvall, Spezza, and Blackwell in some combinations. NHL season reports, thank you so much for subbing. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, that's kind of what I would think, I think, for Toronto. I mean, one thing that the Rangers did do was they did play Blackwell a decent amount on the top six at some points when he was there. So maybe there's a potential of that. Maybe they replace Caution on that somehow if they really need to injury wise, but I don't think that's really going to happen. I think he's going to be in that fourth line, be a pretty consistent player, and be a player that will make it a lot harder to play against the Leafs, which is the most important part, I think. Rumor at the moment sends Kulak from Montreal to the Oilers. Yeah, I did see that, Pierre. It does feel like with the Oilers, that's Kulak would be a pretty nice addition for them. I think he would be fantastic, honestly. Lehkonen mock trade, I'd say, honestly, it could be as simple as just a late first-round pick. Maybe a late first-round pick, fourth-rounder, perhaps, Alexander. I mean, I could see with Lehkonen right now, I could see the Avs honestly trading for Lehkonen and having that be their deal. I think that would make sense, honestly. Where are the Avs? Oh my goodness. So the Avs do not have their first round pick this year. Oh gosh, never mind. Maybe not. Unless they want to trade their 2023 first, which could be a case. And they also don't have their fourth rounders in this year or next. So maybe first round pick in 2023 and a fourth round pick in 2024 or something. Auston with a 5. If the NHL were to expand into 5 more cities, where do you think they should? I like New Orleans, Houston, KC, Atlanta. Also roll Canes. Absolutely. Hoping the Canes have some big playoff wins this year, Austin. I would say first things first, Houston is automatic. Like that's an automatic one right there. I feel like honestly, if you are gonna bring 5 teams, Milwaukee would have to be up there. I feel like there's a pretty decent untapped market up in Wisconsin there, with how popular the Badgers hockey team is too. I feel like New Orleans could work, but I feel like I'd rather have Kansas City than New Orleans for now. And then Quebec City would definitely be one. And I'd probably say, I'm going to say as a little bit of a hot take, I think Portland would be very interesting for an NHL team. So Portland, Houston, KC, and Milwaukee would be the teams I add. If it were to be 5 teams, which I don't really see happening, but still. Bull as well, the 5 Canadian. Why haven't you talked about Donskoy yet? He's performing in the playoffs both with San Jose and Colorado. Donskoy would be, I mean, he's still on the Kraken, right? He'd be an interesting one. I mean, there hasn't really been much rumors about him. I think it might be because of his contract, since he's not like a rental or anything, or at least last time I checked, he wasn't. Is he injured? Yeah, he's on injured reserve right now. So maybe that affects things. Internet Explorer with the 5 as well coming in. Hearing Montreal is moving to Foley to Calgary for a first and a fifth. A prospect in Tyler Pitt. Like, expect more details soon. Really? No way. No. That cannot happen. Sorry. That is never going to happen, okay? Way too little for Tyler Toffoli. Way too little for Tyler Toffoli. Jeff as well coming with a 5 Canadian. Ask and you shall receive. Well, okay. Dang, okay. Thank you, Jeff. For another one, can we get some Jeff hype, some Internet Explorer hype, and some Bolt hype, and some Austin hype in the chat down below? All the $5 donations coming in. I appreciate you guys. Let me put you as the last donator as well, Jeff. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. The Jeff hype is real now. The Jeff hype is real. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if I had to add 5 teams, I have to reach a little bit. I don't think Quebec City is going to happen for a while, but I think it'll eventually happen, like maybe in 10 years or so. Hey, thank you, the away fan. Yeah, honestly, I'm so glad I got this Flames jersey for so cheap too. Like this is one of my favorite home jerseys in the NHL as well. Salt Lake, that's true, is another untapped market, as a huge winter sports capital. I feel like most of Utah is basketball oriented at this point, basketball and football, but I do think there's potential there to have more hockey. I know they have the Utah Grizzlies in the ECHL, if I believe that's their name, but yeah, I would say there's definitely untapped potential there. Is Fleury staying in Chicago? Maybe Blackhawks 2020, but I think Elliotte Friedman said it was a 50% chance that he goes to Minnesota at this deadline. So there's still a chance for, and a pretty decent chance that Fleury could be moved. Where do you get your jerseys? I mostly go on eBay for them. But again, you have to kind of know which are fake and not fake, which is a lot easier said than done. All right. From what I've seen, I haven't seen anything else. By the way, as well, I've gotten a few ats from this Kevin Kerr's tweet that said that Cal Clutterbuck and Andy Green will both sit today. Apparently it was maintenance day from Barry Trotz is what he said, but I would expect that Clutterbuck could be moved. Sebi as well saying, will Muzzin return from LTR before the playoffs were at all? I haven't really checked on that situation, actually. I might need to. Oh, man. Can't believe it, boys and girls. Can't believe it. A lot of action. And I'm really happy that NHL GMs decided, okay, we'll throw him a bone. We'll throw him a Travis Hamonic and Troy Stecher trade in between the Giordano stuff, because I just got to say, if I was waiting here for 2 hours without any of that other stuff, it would have been some sad times. Petrie mock trade, I'd say 2022 first and decent defensive prospect. So for the Stars, it'd probably be like 2022 first, and they don't really have many besides Thomas Harley. I don't think it would be a first in Thomas Harley. I think that's too much. I don't know. I don't know if it was the Stars. Maybe for some other team, let's say. I'm trying to think now. Where do you guys think Petrie will actually go? I'm trying to think about this right now. Maybe, maybe Carolina. If Montreal and Carolina's relationship hasn't been completely destroyed up to this point, maybe, I don't know, Colorado doesn't have the cap space, I don't think. Maybe Nashville could be a very under the radar team. They have $50 million in deadline cap, by the way, $50 million. And they could be a pretty easy trade destination. They got their first round pick this year. In terms of defensemen, let me bring this up. They got some pretty interesting ones. David Ferris is the one that I'm kind of on the fence on, but he could be one that could be a part of that trade. You could have Luke Prokop potentially. Jack Madier is an interesting one too, with 25 points in 57 games this year. Some options, though. It could also be a forward if Montreal goes that direction. Renee, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the crowd, gang. Appreciated. And appreciate all the new subs coming in. You guys are awesome. It's been a whirlwind of a day. And you guys have made it amazing. Oh, man. The problem is I'm going to be streaming for like 3 hours tomorrow on Sportsnet, so I probably should be saving my voice right now. Honestly. I was gone for an hour. What happened? The Giordano trade became official. It's 2 seconds and a third-round pick in 2024. Kessel to Nashville, possible. Maybe. I could see Nashville honestly being a pretty big buyer at this year in the next 24 hours, if they want to. Like, that's really the big thing. Do they want to buy or not? Because I think if they do, they have a lot of potential to get a lot of guys cheaply. Bertuzzi getting traded. It's a possibility right now. But again, it's kind of also the same thing with Nashville. Do they want to go in that direction? He's kind of, if Detroit wants to trade him, though, I think there will be a lot of options that would like to get him. What other moves you see Detroit making? I definitely see Nick Leddy getting dealt. Thomas Greiss is a pretty easy one as well. I think besides that, though, that might be the only two guys we see. Petrie to Minnesota for McBain. I think, honestly, if you trade Petrie and you only get Jack McBain back, that's rough. That is rough. I got to say it right now, I really think Jack McBain might be Jimmy VC 2.0, where people are going to put their expectations way higher than they should. I watched a decent bit of McBain. He's solid, he's physical, but he's not a great skater. I don't think he has a lot of pace to his game. I mean, I personally, if you give up a second rounder for him, I think that's kind of a mistake. Depends on what the second rounder is, but I don't think he's as good as he has been hyped to be, especially on Minnesota's side. I mean, for me personally, if you have even a chance of signing him in the offseason instead, you might as well just have that chance happen. I mean, I don't think if you miss out on Jack McBain, you're missing out on this generational player. For me, if I was a team like Montreal, I'd wait until the offseason, hope to potentially sign him then, and not give up a second round pick, especially Montreal's own second round pick, which is basically a first. Sam, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Good to see you tonight, brother. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, Jack McBain doesn't look incredible. I think he'll just be a fine player. Like, he'll probably be like a fine, okay third liner, but not a guy you trade like a second for. I mean, like, there's obviously the people that say, oh, Brandon Hagel's a third liner, but he's a lot different. Like, I feel like Jack McBain's not going to be this Brandon Hagel guy. I feel like he'll be more of like maybe like a Nico Sturm. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of comparisons. Klingberg mock trade, please. The thing is, I don't think Dallas is going to trade Klingberg at this point, especially with Haskinen's still gone and them wanting to make the playoffs this year. But if it does happen, probably a first and a top prospect. I had a feeling Gio would go to Toronto. The TJ Brody and Gio getting back together would solidify Toronto's defense for the most part. I agree on that, Terranova. I made that prediction a week ago that we were going to see Gio with the Leafs. It makes sense, and it'll be great to see that pairing come back, especially. I'm very surprised NJ hasn't been more active in moving guys like Severson and Subban, although it'll be hard to move Subban. Yeah, that's the thing, Derek. Apparently they're working on potentially extending Severson as like a last minute thing. Subban, I think, will likely get dealt, and he'll probably be a guy that they look at the trade deadline to trade. But yeah, it seems like Severson might be a guy they just keep along. And I mean, I think it's fine. I think he's a solid player, good defensively, even if he makes some gaffes here and there. But I feel like for New Jersey, their focus should be defense. Like their defense, and obviously the goaltending hasn't been great, but I feel like their defense can still go a long way. I mean, it'd be interesting if they. I'm trying to think of actually. Let's actually look at UFAs this year, because I haven't really kept track in a while. Hey, Brian with a 5. Want to join the festivities with the donations. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate you a ton. Can we get some Brian hype, y'all? Some legend stuff here from Brian. Thank you so much, brother. And I appreciate you enjoying the stream. Let me see here. Players, then free agents, I'd assume. Yeah, free agents 2023. So this is the board of free agents this year. Let me just zoom this out a little bit so you guys can actually see the names here. So this is the list of guys. Let me go just to defensemen, because I can see the Devils actually being because they got Dougie Hamilton obviously in last year's free agency, but I could see them going for a more defensive guy. I mean, Calvin DeHaan, I think, would be pretty interesting. Colin Miller, if he's available, I think would be fine as well. Ben Chiarot would be funny. Michael Kempney, perhaps. There's not a lot of great options here. Jan Ruda would be a really good one, I think. Dean Kukan would be very under the radar. Same with Troy Stetcher and Justin Braun. Brett Kulak, if he doesn't get re-signed, would be perfect. I would love Brett Kulak on that Devils defense. He's exactly what they need. But not many other options besides that I think defensively can really hold their weight. But still some options there for New Jersey if they are going that direction. All right, let me just refresh, see if there's anything else. Also from Mike Benton, just got on the phone with Paul Giordano, Mark's father from Toronto. Paul says he can now play together with my daughter's kids. He can be together as a family. Added how much the Giordanos appreciate team, fans, city for an incredible experience for an incredible experience in Seattle. So there you go. That's awesome. That is great. Some wholesome family moments from the Giordanos. Yeah, I definitely agree. Houston will get the next NHL team. And by the way, Kit Fisto, best Jedi, or at least most underrated Jedi. Why Leafs would trade Marner for nothing? Marner's having a solid season points wise this year. Yeah, they're not going to trade him for nothing for sure. Pellichet was a late first rounder, and it is Montreal is picking up top 5 this year, so never. Do you think Florida will make any more trades with Ekblad, LTR, and freed up cap space? I think so. I think they're too smart to not use that cap space well. We'll see. I mean, at this rate, with Travis Hamonic getting a third, I mean, I don't even know if the dead awful contracts for teams are even going to be given up for that. That was cap friendly that I was just looking at. That was the site. PK Subban to the Flames. Interesting. Not a lot of Oilers news. They were recently linked to Brett Kulak, though, which I think would be a pretty good addition for them. We still got 1,000 people in this stream, by the way. Thank you guys so much for dropping by. I don't know if we're going to see another trade here, but if you guys do have anything to link me to, make sure you do so. And again, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. Make sure you do so at Nathan Gravity, and some good content over there. Sam, what's going on? And Epic Sports Gamer, hello. And by the way, if you are just coming in, Mark Giordano has been traded officially to Seattle for 2 seconds in 2022 and 2023, and a third rounder in 2024. We also saw Travis Hamonic traded to the Sens for a third round pick that was originally the Canucks, and now the Canucks got that back. And then they traded that pick, I'm pretty sure, to the Leafs, who now get Travis Sturm, and Travis Sturm, who will go to Vancouver. I know I explained that terribly, but you get what I mean. Jeremiah with a 10. Oh my goodness. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday. Thanks for following the Sports Beer Grab. I appreciate it. Our team battling today in DC. I like that. Yeah, what Seattle has done. Vegas is the outlier in expansion. Oh, absolutely. No problem, Jeremiah. I mean, you've been a king in just the hockey community on YouTube and Twitter. It's no problem. Thank you so much for the 10. I mean, yeah, this is, I'm definitely going to be watching this Caps and Stars game after this stream ends for sure. I'm really hoping the Stars win. We need it badly. Yeah, I mean the Caps have looked a little bit better over these past couple of weeks, so it'll definitely be a fun little end. And then we all got Toxic coming up with the 2. Taylor Gauthier, your opinion on his stats? Yeah, he's done pretty well this year. I remember. Yeah, he's playing with Portland this year. I haven't watched a ton of Portland this season. Well, from what I have seen, I have liked Gauthier a lot. I think he's an interesting one because he was obviously he was signed by the Penguins. He was undrafted. He's 21, so he should be having great statistics. But he's got I think could be an NHL goaltender, likely a backup though, maybe a fringe guy. But I don't think he's going to be a potential goalie for the Pens in the future. I think a solid signing by them, obviously. Pellichet is an untouchable. I mean, it depends. If you're going to McDavid, I would say you could maybe make a deal happen there. Yeah, the boys, I did get a little bit of haircuts. Not like I got like I got one like 2 weeks ago, and then I got another to clean everything up. Do you see the Canucks re-signing Besser? No, Elliotte. I mean, I think if we don't see a trade this trade deadline, it's probably going to be a trade in the off season. We know right now that they're wanting to keep as much cap as possible. David with the 16 month membership, aka Mr. Noobs. Thank you so much for the 16 months, man. Calgary cupping this season. I hope. Okay, as long as. Well, if Dallas doesn't make it, I hope it's Calgary. They would be so fun. They would be so fun, man. I mean, they already are so fun, but especially in the playoffs, I think they can do so much damage. I think they have a chance versus the Avs. I don't think they're the favorite by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they could have a solid chance versus the Avs. Alvin as our savior, as he should be. Dangle Simlick, solid trade so far. I think first round Leafs will face Tampa Bay because Florida's still first place in the division. That's fair. If they face Tampa, though, I don't think they're winning that series. I don't think they're winning that series. Lyle, what's going on? Hello, YouTube. What's going on as well? We got 1,100 likes in this stream. Thank you guys so much for everybody that's showing support on this stream through donation, through just watching the stream and being here. It's been so much fun just breaking down all of this with you guys. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the Rangers are playing today versus the Canes. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. Oh man, I am absolutely pooped. Kings beating Edmonton? Yeah, I think it'll be a close one. Actually, yeah, I haven't even looked back in that poll. 2,000 votes. Let's end that right now. Edmonton winning it 54% to 46. Interesting. Yeah, I did see the Gaudreau extension stuff. The Leafs, 007, thank you so much for subbing. Good to have you here. Any Winnipeg news? Right now, Jasper, we know that Dylan is in play, Kopp is in play, Stassi is in play, but we haven't seen anything come close yet. But yeah, I did see Gaudreau wanting an extension. He's going to get at least 9.5, I think. I could see him getting, maybe not Panarin money, but I could see him getting a lot just with how great he's been overall this year. I mean, points-wise, over the past few seasons, there's been very few players as consistent as Gaudreau has been. I'm sad because I can't see the trade deadline because I have school. Hey, Jack. I mean, I if you can be here for the stream on Sportsnet tomorrow, we'd appreciate it. Even if you can't even listen, just having it in the background, we're going to have graphics on the screen and everything. If you don't know, by the way, we're going to be streaming on Sportsnet's YouTube channel at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So if you've enjoyed the coverage so far, go over on Sportsnet's YouTube channel, subscribe, and we'll be on there tomorrow breaking down all the trades as the deadline inches closer. But we're gonna have like graphics for all the trades. We're gonna have highlights for a lot of the players as they get dealt. It's gonna be amazing. So if you are in school, especially, and you can't like listen, that's gonna be the best stream, simply put, to be on, because we're gonna have all the graphics, all the everything, trade targets, and everything. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be absolutely perfect. So that'll be where I'd suggest. No bias, of course. Nate's Gaming, any Leafs news, Nathan? Well, they might have traded for Mark Giordano and COLIN BLACKWELL, which I think is pretty good news. But yeah, they traded for Mark Giordano and COLIN BLACKWELL in exchange, 2 seconds and 1/3 going to Seattle. Where does Luke Schenn go? Leafs still in the mix? I would assume the Leafs would be one of the teams out there wanting Schenn the most. I think an under the radar team though for Schenn is the LA Kings, with how many injuries they've had on defense. I mean, like, Luke Schenn would be a very interesting addition there. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cry. Expecting to make things for sure. Something around Klinger, and obviously, I mean, that's the thing. The reason I'm at Sportsnet right now is because of you guys and the support on the streams, especially. I mean, the reason I'm doing this trade deadline stream is because they've seen in the past how much fun the trade deadline streams are and how much fun just streams in general on the channel are, and trying to bring that energy over to their channel, which I'm extremely honored to be a part of. So it's because you guys being awesome and just starting conversations and really just being so fun that I'm in the position, and I cannot say enough thank yous just for that alone. Philip Forsberg is super amazing national member of player. Yeah, absolutely, Mohammed. I think I don't know if he'll be traded at this rate, but if anybody does trade for him, that would be pretty cool to see. AirPods and chill. I'll be here for the Flower to Wild news. Absolutely, Rusty. I honestly really hope the Wild do trade for Fleury. I feel like that would be a great fit. And yeah, I don't know, Rusty, if you know, but I've been making videos a lot over the past few months about how I thought Fleury should go to Minnesota, or mentioning it in a couple of videos. Actually, let me. I vaguely remember I made a Wild Fleury Photoshop a while back. Let me see if I can find it. Like not like a Photoshop, but like a Photoshop for a thumbnail. Let me see if I can find it here. Wild. Was it 10? Was it the 10 NHL players video? It might have been. Yes, it was. Take a look at this right now. Take a look at this right now. So this was my let me put up on the screen here real quick. This was my 10 NHL players that will be traded soon video. We got Ben Chiarot. We haven't gotten Fleury or Kessel yet, but you can see that Marc-Andre Fleury, Minnesota Wild Photoshop right there. I mean, that was, when was this video made? Gosh, when was it made? I don't even know. It was made a few months ago. So even back then we knew that Fleury would be going to Minnesota. Maybe not the Ben Chiarot to Edmonton one though. That's maybe not looking the greatest. Not looking the best, I would say. But yeah, I remember making that. Pop it up, it'll go into existence. Absolutely. Hoffman needs to be traded to Montreal, or need to be traded from Montreal. Can't have Hoffman, Drew, and Coppel